All right, good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, from Good Richfield, where tonight QCTV and QCTV.org and YouTube and anywhere else you can find it is pleased to bring you some 6A football action on a Friday night, a chilly Friday night, as the Anoka Tornadoes at a record of 0-1 will host the visiting Forest Lake Rangers, coming in with a record of 1-0. Week 2, first week of school really in play for everybody. Should be a fun one. I'm Tim Anderson. Good to have you with us tonight, alongside my good pal, longtime coach in 6A, Zach Nienaber. Zach, you've had a chance to kind of see these two teams over the last few years. What are we kind of in store for here tonight?
Well, I'm really excited to see the rushing attack here from Forest Lake. They had a heck of a game last week. They took down Prior Lake 21-18, and they ran the ball 31 times for 200 yards, so it was an impressive showing. But they'll be without their starting running back tonight, Mac Jerkovich, and so we'll see Evan Richley in the backfield here for the Rangers tonight.
Yeah, be interested to see if they make any kind of different adjustments based on that, right? And on the other side for the Tornadoes, tons of new starters, right? There's new guys everywhere, new quarterback, had a great run last year, really kind of got off to a tough start at Eden Prairie. That happens to a lot of teams. What do you need to see from them tonight?
Yeah, well, we talked with Coach Deneke before the game, and he said, they had 9 or 10 new guys on the field most of the game. And it's no easy treat to go down to Eden Prairie for your first one. So we'll see how – I always feel like the most growth happens between week 1 and week 2. And so we'll see how that goes here tonight for the Tornadoes.
And yet it means we're going to get a chance to take a look at Blake Sieben when that comes around, but they're going to kick off first to Forest Lake. So Forest Lake and Connor Johnson are going to get the ball first. One thing that you've told me, Zach, when we were kind of talking a little bit, is Forest Lake's kind of tricky offensively. Yes, they run the ball, but they show you some different looks.
Yeah, you're going to see some option from them. Their passing game is a little slower to develop because it's a lot of play action and double moves and things like that. So it's a difficult thing to prepare for because it's not something you see all the time.
So that we'll take a look and see what adjustments this young defense makes, and they're going to get their chance on the field right away. Gus Moran going to kick things off for the Tornadoes. Back to receive. Looks like Brooks Roney. And that's going to head deep, and it's going to be picked up by the other guy up there, Sawyer McCann, and he's going to run forward. He's going to cross the 20. He's going to cross the 25, almost to the 30-yard line before he's brought down by a host of Tornadoes on special teams. We got a flag coming.
Yep, looks like there was a hold there on the edge.
So they're going to bring this back 10 yards.
I think they're going to end up here inside the 10 because that hold happened back at the 20.
Savageau actually was the one who returned that for the Forest Lake Rangers, so we're going to see where this pins them. It is a hold. Good call, Zach. And we're going to see where they decide to spot this. Looks like they're going to bring him back to the 20-yard line the way the referee started this walk back, so we're going to see where they go. And now they're going to take it from here. You're right, down to the 10. Started at the 20, so they'll take them all the way back to the 10-yard line, and that's where Connor Johnson, the quarterback, is going to take over the senior quarterback for Forest Lake.
Yeah, a lot of seniors here for Forest Lake. Coach B-Scout told us before the game they are experienced and have played in a lot of big games, and he really enjoys this group.
There's Richley in the backfield, as you mentioned. They line up in kind of a pistol formation. Richley just behind the shoulder of Johnson. Now they bring a man in motion. That's going to be Ragu, and now they'll hand it off, and here they go. It's going to be a catch and a little reverse, actually, to the outside, and he'll take it out to the 19, almost pick it all the way back up to a first down, but he'll stop just short, it looks like. Nice start.
So that's some of the option look you'll see from Forest Lake. They'll start with a wing, and he'll go in motion before the snap and get back there to be the pitch back.
It's kind of some old-school misdirection type stuff, right?
Yep.
So Durago is the one. Now he's going to line up in the slot. Now they'll flank Richley just to the side of Johnson in kind of a tight pistol formation. Now they bring a man in motion the other way. They fake the handoff, and it's going to be kept by the quarterback, Johnson. He's going to run and get to the 20-yard line. Should be enough for a first down. And they will move the chains. There's an example of that right there, Zach. So you show them one way, you reverse it the other way, and then you keep it.
Yep, and we'll see here how this progresses, how much they decide to run the quarterback tonight. That could be the other option, too, if you're missing your best running back, that the quarterback takes more carries.
So Johnson kept that one for the first down, got just enough. Now they line up in a real tight formation, just one receiver to the outside. They bring a man in motion. It's going to be Westman. He's going to get it, trying to turn the corner on the defense, and it'll be a nice open field tackle right there by Josh Ryther, and it's going to be a pickup of maybe 5 or 6 for DJ Westman. Tornadoes trying to get their fans into it early. A USA out. Youth night. The youth lining the end zone on the far side, which is just awesome to see. Second down and about 4 for the Rangers. Durago is lining up in the backfield now. They'll bring Westman in motion. It's going to be kept by Johnson, trying to weave through the tacklers, and he's going to get out near the 30-yard line before he's brought down. He was able to break the first tackle by Justice, and he was finally brought down by the rest of that Tornado defense on that side.
Well, and now you've seen 2 quarterback runs here and 2 first downs for the offense, and they've gotten themselves out of that hole that they were in early with the holding call.
And that's all you really were hoping to get. Obviously, if you can get a nice long drive, that's even better, but certainly just getting out of your own end zone is nice. Johnson with Durago under right behind him, kind of a pistol. Again, in motion comes Westman. The handoff straight ahead. Durago will take it. He's going to cross the 50. And he'll be brought down after another pickup, 6-7. They're getting some nice chunks here on first down, Zach.
Yep, and that allows them to stay on schedule, right? Go with their run game. Eventually, you're going to see a play-action pass come here, but they're going to keep. If you can keep running the ball for 6-7 yards and pop, there's no reason to throw the ball.
That's true. That's kind of the old school mentality. Maybe they'll get the game to go even faster. We can get out of here by 8:30. Who knows? You never know. Second down and 3. Getting these short yardage situations really good for the Rangers. Line up again. They're deciding to go with Durago in the backfield. They've done that now on 3 or 4 different plays in a row, and they will hand it to him again. Straight ahead run for the big fullback, and he's going to get the first down as he crosses the 40 to the 41. Finally brought down by Keaton Maros.
Well, it's been an interesting look here because they've clearly decided that they're going to hand the ball to Zero as much as they can, right? They must feel that he's their playmaker, and they're going to find ways to get the ball in his hands.
He's got some size. He'll come sit out a play. Richley comes back in at running back. They bring Westman again to kind of flank on this near side.
So Forest Lake's unbalanced here.
They bring Westman in motion, and now they're going to run. Now a little option, little pitch that time to Richley. He's going to take it, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards. Nice little move there. He saw that one coming as they brought Westman in motion, but Richley still able to make a nice gain.
Yep, so there's the cat and mouse game, right? Forest Lake lines up unbalanced, motions another guy over to that side, and then run the option over there. They feel like they've got you outnumbered, plus in the option game, it's almost like adding another half a man. So we'll see how Anoka adjusts to that.
And you're right, not a lot of teams run that kind of stuff anymore, so it's kind of tough to game plan for. Second down and about 5, maybe a long 5 for the Rangers. Johnson brings them back to the line once again as he sits in this pistol formation. Richley right behind him. Tight formation. Westman comes in motion once again. Handoff they go. Richley trying to cut through. Cannot. Brought down for no gain right there. Right at the line of scrimmage. Really effective tackle in the open field right there by Nick Wellman, the senior. Finally able to sniff one out there, do the Tornadoes.
Yep, and now they've got him in 3rd and long, which will put Forest Lake in a little bit of an uncomfortable position, maybe a throwing down here. It's been interesting to see that Anoka has rolled their safeties down a little bit here, starting to get them involved in the run game, and we'll see how that response comes from Forest Lake if they throw the ball.
They go single high safety, do the Tornadoes, and they bring Westman in motion. Johnson's standing up, and he's back to pass. He'll take a 2 or 3 step drop, fling it out to Westman, who makes the catch. He's able to break a tackle, and he is going to be stopped short of the first down by about 2 or 3 yards. Good play by the Tornadoes defense to sniff that out, and again, pass kind of lobbed in there. Didn't feel like it zipped in there, and maybe that slowed the play down just a touch.
Well, here comes the big play because Forest Lake is keeping the offense on the field here to go for it on 4th and 2.
So they will go indeed. 4th down and about 3.
Yeah, it looks like 3.
Maybe 3 yards exactly. This is kind of a tough one, so they're going to see what they stack the line with here. Tornadoes bringing pressure, it looks like. A lot of guys up on the line for Anoka. Johnson looks in for one last play call. Crowd gets loud on the student section for Anoka. Westman comes in motion. Johnson fakes the pass, then keeps it. He's got a first down and more as he crosses the 45 to the 43-yard line. Really nice call right there, and finally was able to be wrapped up by Josh Ryther.
Yep, so you're getting that counter play there. The quarterback turns his shoulders just enough. It gives time for your pulling lineman to get out in front, and he follows them to the first down.
Tornadoes almost was able to get off the field, but again, trusting that offense to stay on the ground. Johnson picks up the first down on his 3rd run already of this drive.
Okay, so here comes Forest Lake unbalanced again.
Durago in the backfield here for Johnson. And they'll hand it to him. Durago's got to move. He'll make a move as he turns it back upfield and crosses to the 35-yard line before he's brought down. Another nice pickup, maybe 6-7 yards again. And it feels like the O-line for Forest Lake is winning this battle at the line of scrimmage, really establishing 3-4 yards ahead here, Zach. And it's a lot of room to run for a guy like Durago.
Yep, and he's a big physical guy. It's hard to take down, so he's falling forward, which is also, right, gives you another yard or two on each of those carries.
2nd down and 2. Forest Lake has eaten up almost half of this first quarter, driving the ball here. Johnson. Westman comes in motion again. He'll fake the handoff to Durago and keep it. He's got room to run as he weaves his way through to the 25-yard line. Brought down once again. A lot of pressure for Keaton Maros as he'd be able to pick up his 2nd tackle already. And they just keep moving the chains.
Well, and you're seeing this is what Forest Lake likes to do, right? They've had thrown the ball once. They've kept the ball on the ground. They don't huddle, but they don't go fast. Right. So it limits some of your substitutions. They can go quick if they need to. This is everything that Forest Lake would like to start it here. Now we'll see if they end it with points.
Absolutely, just right on script, right as scheduled. Once again, they like bringing this motion with Westman. They haven't used it as much. Richley gets the handoff, and he's brought down in the backfield. Leroy Houston comes in and makes the play. Actually, I take that back. It's Ace Iowoli who comes and makes the play. The nose guard gets in the backfield for the Tornadoes.
Well, and that's a really good play by him. He gets in the back hip of the pulling lineman and takes him right to the football, and he makes a tackle for a loss.
Ace with a big play, and that sets up 2nd and long. And if you can get this Rangers team off schedule, as you mentioned, Zach, that's going to be the key for Anoka tonight. Westman. Now it's Johnson back to pass as he came in motion. He's flinging. He finds Westman, and he's brought down on a quick open field tackle by Jackson Justice, the senior cornerback on the outside, and it's going to set up 3rd and long. It was a completed pass. They picked up probably 6 or 7 yards or so. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. And this is probably 4-down territory in this spot, right? I mean, depending on what you do here. I mean,
yeah,
probably not going to kick a field goal from this distance.
This would be a long field goal for a high school kicker.
And that changes your game plans, right? Because you can call a running play. You can call anything you want right here.
Right. And that's the key, right? Once you know you're in 4-down territory, you should make that decision right away on 1st down, and that changes your play calls for all 4 downs. It can't be something you just decide to do on 3rd or 4th down.
Handoff ahead. It's Durago again, and again untouched for about 9 to 10 yards, and he's got a 1st down all the way to the 15-yard line. And he doesn't get touched at all for about 6-7 yards.
Yeah, that was a big parting there.
Credit that line for Brad Briscoe's team. He has been off to a wonderful start. This O-line is moving the pile. 1st down and 10. Westman now sits more in the slot. Interesting to watch him because they've been bringing him in motion almost every play. This time they don't. They'll hand off to Durago again, and again untouched. He turns the corner and scores. Touchdown, Forest Lake.
Well, that was another unbalanced look, right? They traded the tight end in the wing. They've overloaded the side. And I think Anoka is going to have to look at it here and possibly bump over a man or two even, depending on how they want to play this to take on that unbalanced look, because they were in that a substantial amount for the first drive.
Yeah, big adjustment maybe here for Coach Adam Deneke with this young defensive team to try to see if he can figure something out to stop that running game. A very effective and efficient running attack from Forest Lake. They take off almost 8 minutes off the clock on this opening possession, and they get the touchdown. Extra point pending. And here comes Anyuanga. And the extra point, big leg, down, through, good, 7-0 in favor of the Rangers. And that was really impressive from Forest Lake. Really what you're looking for, tailor-made.
Yep, I think you're going to continue to see them go unbalanced, and we'll see how Anoka adjusts here. And that's what high school football is, right? It's a game of adjustments. You plan for something all week, and you get out there and drive one, you see something, and you have to adjust every series, right? Every drive, they're meeting and talking here. So,
and you're right, when you run 30 some odd carries with a guy one week and then he's not on the field the next week, you have to assume you think you're going to see that, you plan for that, and now all of a sudden you're seeing maybe some different motion, different guys carrying the ball. It's a lot to adjust for, right?
Yep, there's definitely a planning, right? You look at some tendencies, and all of a sudden those tendencies aren't there anymore. And so now it becomes a game of, well, how much do I trust what we've seen on film and that they're going to keep doing the same stuff, or will they come out and do something different? And so that's where your hands are full here as a defensive coordinator, is you've got to make those adjustments on the fly.
Adam Deneke works, of course, as the defensive coordinator. He's up in the booth. Got some long-time assistants down on the field to try to handle that. And we'll see how many they make adjustments. And now we're going to look at this offense for the Anoka Tornadoes. Also another new look offense. First, got to catch the kickoff first. And Jykinen will go and get it, but has nothing to show for it as he's brought down at the 15-yard line. Nowhere to run that time from Braylon Jykinen. And that's going to bring Blake Sieben on the field. Obviously, you're replacing lots of guys for the Tornadoes, Zach. Quarterback, running back, top 2 wide receivers. But you do bring back your O-line, which is a nice place to start.
Yep, and Bo has talked about balance before, right? He likes to be a third pass, a third run, and a third in his bubble and screen game. And they maybe got away from that a little bit last week, but that was dictated on, right, the game script, right? They fell behind early and felt they needed to throw a little more. So we'll see how much balance they can accomplish here.
And obviously, they like to spread you out, do the Tornadoes. They go 2 up top, and they bring 1 down low. Caden Band's out there along with Brody Lackinen, and they'll hand off to Brody Rush on the first play, and Rush is going to carry the ball all the way out near the first down, out to about the 28-yard line. That might be enough to move the chains, so they start off running the football with Rush, and it's effective. So a quick first down on 1 play.
And Anoka's right at the line, ready to go.
Yes, even not wasting time. They go up tempo here, do the Tornadoes, and they're going to sling it. Nice open look, and they make the play. Caden Band will catch that one out to the 37-yard line. 1 for 1 for Blake Sieben. Already a better start than last week.
Yep, and that was a good stick look there. He found the guy right in the stick hole. And it was wide open, right? And so they're moving the sticks, and here they go with tempo. And we talked about this a little bit as we were preparing for this game. Forest Lake had a little trouble last year in the playoffs with Blaine's tempo. And I think Anoka goes even faster than Blaine does.
There's a big run there for Rush, and Rush will take 10 more and another first down for the Tornadoes. And already yelling at an official is Bo. Bose clearly wants to see something about a spot or maybe a call, but they will move the flags, move the sticks, first down. Tornadoes, 3 plays, 3 first downs. Coach Bo makes the call from the sideline. They peer in. Now Sieben to the line. Or not really to the line, still sitting in that pistol formation. Nope, they're going to get a false start. They jump early right there. And that's Moses Boyce, the running back, sitting behind Sieben on that play. So back him up 5 yards. So that'll be first down and 15 coming up. Tornadoes coming up, looking for the answer to Forest Lake. Forest Lake drives the length of the field, 90 yards. They score 7 on their first possession. Tornadoes going to look for an answer. Coach Bo likes to run up tempo, as Zach mentioned. And you've kind of seen that. They've run 5 plays in the span of a minute of clock time. They bunch to the high side. They have Moses Boyce sitting behind Sieben. Moving some guys in motion. Brock Sieben was coming in motion. Now they're coming over the middle. He'll throw Blake downfield, and that's going to be caught by Caden Band. Caught by Caden Band at the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a heck of a catch along the sidelines there.
Let's see if we can get another look at that as Sieben rolls out, fires off the back foot, and I guess just dragging enough for Caden Band. And that's a big catch, and they get into Ranger territory to the 40-yard line. Impressive start for Blake Sieben. Big, strong throw off the back foot like that, and he was able to throw a dime to Caden Band. Now Band sits in the slot up top. Brody Lackinen into the near side. Moses Boyce still sitting behind Sieben. They'll hand it off straight ahead. Nope, they'll keep it. Sieben will run to the 34-yard line. And Zach, that might be the one thing that's a little different about this Tornado team versus what they had with Padani is Sieben the ability to run.
Yeah, he definitely is a little more fleet of foot, and so that'll help him in the run game here tonight.
So it gives them some options. Now they go back out with Rush, and they'll hand it to Rush right away. He has 2 carries and 20 yards and more as he runs for more this time down to the near side. He's knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Tornadoes driving here to try to look for the equalizer on the Rangers.
Well, here you're just seeing the difference, right? The tempo. They're down here. They've come all the way down the field in about 2 minutes, where Forest Lake went all the way down the field in about 8.
Yeah.
Right? So the tempo is definitely a thing for Anoka, and right, it's clashing styles, and
styles make fights. You're right. You're absolutely right. Bo taking his time here. He's still got 15 on the play clock as he's trying to get one more look here as he's yelling into Blake Sieben. Sieben maybe not sure what he's seeing. They might take a timeout here unless they get this thing hustled up here. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. They got to go, and they're not going to get this off. I think did they call timeout? And no, they'll call a sack. That looked bad from the ad. That's a delay, I think. I don't think that play should have even happened. Ref should have blown that dead.
Yeah, that looked like the play clock had gone off. We always see.
I know they give you like an extra beat, right? They give you a beat, but it felt like that was longer than a beat. And that play took an ice age to develop. I mean, it just looked like Sieben wasn't sure what the call was from Coach.
Yep, so the play did not count. They're calling a false start here.
Okay.
So we'll have 1st and 15.
All right, so it was a loss either way. I mean, you still would rather keep the down, though, so that's going to work out for Anoka because they were going to take a big loss on that one. And now I think they've got what they want. They're bunched again up top. Sieben sits in the pistol with Rush right behind. 2.5 to go, first quarter. Get some motion here on the top. Now Sieben, 3-step drop. He's going to fade one to Lackinen over the top and incomplete as he overthrows Brody by about 2 or 3 yards. Good coverage on the play by Forest Lake, led by Niall Lassick.
Well, and now here they are in 2nd and 15, and it looks like Forest Lake is going to go nickel here as they run another D-back onto the field, and a linebacker comes off.
So Laschek covers over the top right there. They get an incompletion at 2nd down and 15. We're going to see if Coach Bo wants to keep throwing or if he wants to go back to the ground. They've shown effectiveness on the ground with Rush. And Rush sits back there. 15 on the play clock. 2:24 left to play first quarter. Rush flanking right behind Sieben. Sieben looks for one last call from Coach Bo. Sieben to the line now. Barking, and now we got a whistle. And that's a delay of game.
I think Bo was signaling for timeout. He may have got it beforehand.
Did he get the timeout ahead of time? Delay? Nope, they gave the delay of game first, and they're not on the same page on the sidelines. And you can see not thrilled with something as Coach Bo is not happy with the way the signals are getting in or how fast things are going because clearly and they're not seeing it. Did they get the timeout? We'll see if they call. Bo, I think, wanted the timeout. They called the delay of game, the referees did, and now we're going to see what they do.
Well, now they're getting together to talk. I did see Bo signaling for timeout.
Yes.
But he's a good 10 to 15 yards behind the play when he lines up, so I don't know if the ref saw it or not. It looks like they did not see it and did not give him the timeout, so they are sticking with the delay call.
So that means that's going to set up 2nd down and 20. And this is the stuff that kind of set them back a little bit in the game against Eden Prairie, where they were able to drive and get into the red zone, but penalties and little mistakes like this, and then all of a sudden they're out of range.
Yeah, and so now, and Bo's a little hot here, right? Because he definitely was calling for a timeout, but he was a long ways away, and the ref didn't see it or acknowledge it. So now you're in 2nd and long.
And we can't, the procedure, I mean, again, and when you look at the 2 plays earlier, they were in the exact same position. Something is not happening fast enough. Are they now calling a timeout? So now they're granting a timeout.
Right.
But is it with the delay is the question.
Yeah, so they're still going to be charged with the delay, it looks like. And, again, right, I mean, I saw Bo signaling, but if the ref doesn't acknowledge it, and that's why he's hot, though, because he knows he's been calling it.
Yep. So they're still granting a timeout to Anoka, but it does appear that it's 2nd down and 20. Scoreboard hasn't updated that yet, but it does appear that they will be at 2nd down and 20 here in just a second.
And so now you got to think, right, you don't have to get it all in one play.
Yep.
Right? I mean, obviously, if you do, that's great. But you're looking to get up little chunks here to make it down to 3rd manageable, and you're probably going on 4th down, right? I mean, we saw last week they can kick field goal if they want to. They've attempted. But I think where you're at right now, you're looking to get down and get in there and go for it in 4-down territory.
And you have to think about, this is where most teams, right, you have like 2-3 plays that you really like in these situations. I know second down and 19 doesn't really have not a lot of plays on the card for that, but this is where maybe your second down and 10 play is a good play to run.
Yeah, and I think, right, he's probably got some stuff in his bag, things that you like for the week. You'd like to save some of it if you can for maybe a little more manageable situation, but now's the time to use one of them.
You got 4 wide receivers. Sieben sits in the pistol. He's back to pass. Now he's moving. Now he's still moving. He's going to run for it. He gets to the outside and does. He's going to pick up 15 yards or so. Blake Sieben on the ground to the high side gets them back to third and manageable.
And now you'll see Forest Lake will run their base stuff back out onto the field, right? The extra DB is gone. They're back into third and shortish.
We're yelling. We were next to that Forest Lake coaching booth, and they are plenty into this game as well. Back to pass. Back to pass and throwing. Sieben has an open Caden Ban, and he dropped it. Oh, Caden Ban was open. Caden Ban was open. He had what was an easy first down and maybe more, and he dropped it. That's going to set up fourth down, and will Sieben stay on the field? It looks like he will. Oh, man.
Well, this becomes the first big play of the game. After I guess maybe the second. That 4th and 2 earlier was pretty big. But here you are now, right? Like, you've driven the ball down the field and you want to come away with points.
Caden Ban was open, and that thing was an easy first down. All he had to do was squeeze it. Caden's pretty sure-handed. Now rolling out is Sieben. They bring pressure. Good pickup, and now Sieben's going to run for it. He's got to get inside the 11, and it looks close. It's close.
He's
it's
going to
really
have a
close.
first down
It looks
here.
like he's got a first down. Blake Sieben with a courageous run to the outside, and he was able to get himself near the line to gain, and it looks like a first down. It is. First and goal, Anoka.
And they're going to be just outside the 10.
No, you're right.
Yep.
Not first and goal. They still can get another first down.
So interesting look on that there, right? Forest Lake has got Howie Johnson, number 92, right? He's a U of M commit. He's a big kid. He's 6'3", 290, or 260. They doubled him, and they chipped him with a running back, right? And they got out to the side. So they're going to have to probably look at double teams and chipping on him a lot.
That was a big block by Brody Rush to spring Sieben on the outside there. Now Sieben's got to be in traffic. People are all over him, and down he goes. Down he goes. First guy there, number 99 for Forest Lake. That's Nate Schlief. He was able to wrap up Blake Sieben.
And now you find yourself in second and long again.
Back again. Here we are. Now you have to get to the 4, it looks like, to get a first down. Not going to be easy. They'll hand off to Brody Rush. Rush has room. Rush trying to get to the 16 to the 15 before he's brought down. And he's going to pick up maybe 5 or 6.
And that's right what you got to think about, right? Now you're down to 3rd and 9, and you're probably, like we talked about, you can go for it on 4th down if you like to. I think it'll be interesting to see what they call here might dictate how they're feeling about 4th down too, right? If you see another run here, I think they're thinking they're going on 4th down.
No doubt.
If they throw, then we'll see what their decision is.
Bill gives the signal. Up to the line of scrimmage go the Tornadoes. They move Rush. Sieben slides him over to his left. Looks back at Coach Bo for a play call. Man comes in motion. Now here's Sieben back to pass. He dumps it off over the middle. It's caught. And there's room for Ban, but he's brought down. Nice open field tackle right there by Cullen Christensen as Ban was looking for daylight to the outside.
Well, that was a really well set up play by Anoka. They get a little screen underneath there. They've got the lineman out front, and that's a heck of a one-on-one tackle in the open field.
And let's see, they'll probably take this down to the end of the quarter. We'll see. I don't think they're going to run another play here. So we're going to have 4th down and 6. And that will indeed do it for the first quarter of play. A lot of excitement. Forest Lake drives the length of the field, 90 yards. They score. Anoka's trying to drive it right back the length of the field the other way. Critical 4th down coming up in just a moment on QCTV.
We are Midwest Animal Rescue and Services, aka MARS. We are committed to serving both pet and parent, finding homes for animals that were once lost, left behind, and forgotten, while bringing harmony and enhancing education in our community. We started in 2006 and have a 98% adoption success rate. With the help of our community and people like you, Mars has saved over 21,000 animals. All of our animals live in foster homes as family members. Once they get adopted and go home, they stay home. We have a nonprofit veterinary clinic and dog obedience training services. We are actively supporting both ends of the leash, both people and pets, breaking down barriers and building community. Visit our website, www.midwestanimalrescue.org, to learn more and join our Mars community today.
Here we go, back on QCTV. Sieben on the critical 4th down and 8. He's going to roll out. He's being pressured. He's got to go end zone. He throws it up. It's caught! Touchdown, Anoka! Unbelievable catch by Ezekiel Beme. Just threw up a prayer and a touchdown for the Tornadoes.
Well, the pressure there was important for Forest Lake because I think early in the sequence, Ban was open, I think, in the slot. But the pressure flushed and forced the quarterback out, and he throws it up, and it's just a great one-on-one play for a touchdown.
Great catch. Phenomenal catch. Great play there by the Tornadoes. Make a huge spot right there to get the 7-6. Now Gus Moran will come in and try to answer a couple of big 4th down and long conversions by the Tornadoes on offense. And now they look to square it. Snap, spot, kick, up, and it is good. We're tied at 7.
Well, a heck of a drive for the Tornadoes there to answer. And now you got to come out and get a stop and get the ball back for your offense. But I think that's right, some momentum, right? You feel good now after a long drive. After a week where they struggled a little bit, right? They struggled putting up points in the red zone early last week. So it's got to feel good to come down and convert here at the start of this game.
Let's take another look at that one. And it was just an awesome throw. It actually 28, but it was Rush. It was Brody Rush who got that one. Brody Rush runs out of the backfield on kind of a wheel route, and he catches a fade ball. Beautiful from Brody Rush. I was impressed with Rush that drive. I mean, he had probably 30 some odd yards on the ground. He catches the touchdown. Big play.
Yeah, that's what you need, right? You got to have some guys make some plays, right? I mean, that's part of the 6A football game, right? You can scheme up stuff all you want, but in the end, you have to win one-on-one battles. And they won the one-on-one battles there, I thought, a couple times, and that's a big difference in a drive.
Rush and Sieben make some plays. Caden Band makes some catches. Very interesting drive indeed, and you're absolutely right. Now the onus is falling back on the defense to come back, make a stop against a really effective Ranger offense. It's USA out night. Good student section, good crowd here at Goodrich Field. Moran's kick, deep, booming. Coming to the sidelines, that's going out of bounds. So that's going to be a procedure. Procedure penalty is going to give good field position to Forest Lake.
Well, and that's a tough one, right, to see. And I think, right, the special teams at Anoka has been really good the past couple of years.
Yes.
I really think when Bo took over, they put an emphasis on it, right? They do a really good job. They give you some different looks. It's hard to prepare for every week, right? We see the swinging gate on extra points, and that's difficult to prepare for because it looks the same, but it's not every week, right? They give you a little different look every week, and that creates some problems. Their punt game has been good. Unfortunately, kickoff goes out of bounds here. Now Forest Lake's in a good spot.
So Forest Lake will start at the 35-yard line. We'll get you some scores around the area here when we get the next little stoppage, and now we get ready to go. Big, interesting look on defense there, but they'll hand off to Durago to start things off on first down. He'll pick up 4 yards before he's sent back. Looked like 5 linebackers.
Yeah, well, and again, Forest Lake came out unbalanced there,
yep.
Right? So we saw it on the first drive. They had some success, right? They're going to go right back to it, right? And that's part of the strategy, right? We're going to run it until you stop it.
Picked up 5. Now they're going to spot 6, so they gave Durago a little bit of an extra forward progress there. And he's been a tough guy to stop. Big, strong kid following behind a veteran offensive line. Tornadoes have never really been the biggest on the D-line. They tend to do it with speed. Handoff, now going to actually fake it. Little play action for Johnson. He's got nowhere to go. He eludes the first run. And now he throws it complete to Durago. That's a first down and more as he gets to midfield to the 48. Nice job by Connor Johnson because he looked like he was dead in the water 10 yards in the backfield.
Yep, he slipped out of that one, and then they find Durago again. And he's been the story, I think, the first half here for Forest Lake offensively because he's doing a little bit of everything. He's catching the ball. He's running the ball. We'll see if he plays quarterback later.
Yeah, he might. Who knows? Might need him on defense, too. You never know.
He has been out there a few snaps on defense.
So doing a little bit of everything, and he'll stay in as the back behind Johnson. And again, they line up in that tight formation. They bring Westman in motion. They'll hand off again, Durago. He's going to make one move. Now he makes a couple of moves. He breaks a few tackles. He's going to cross the 40, and he's going to get all the way down to the 37-yard line, and they just don't have an answer for him right now.
Well, there's another unbalanced look, right? I mean, I hate to beat on that over and over, but when they're bringing it to one side, and now, right, that run went weak, so if you over-adjusted, they can come back.
Moving the chess pieces around right now for Coach Bisco. First down and 10. And again, Forest Lake driving just like they did on their opening possession. They hand off again, and Kevin Durago has been busy as he gets himself to the 37-yard line. This time they stop him a little short. Good job by the Tornadoes defense.
And that's where you need to be now as Anoka, right? Get them into longer situations, right? If you're only giving up a couple yards, right, it becomes interesting decisions to make on third down. How much do you throw? When do you go into that, right? And I think that's what you have to do is you have to try to make Forest Lake do something that they're uncomfortable doing.
Second down and a long 7. It looks like just where the spotter is or where the stick marker is. It looks like a long 7 yards for Connor Johnson. He'll fake the handoff and keep it. Try to work through and does. He's untouched to the 20, down to the 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Forest Lake.
Well, a big run off a counter, right? You've been feeding the big man, number 0, all game, right? And then every once in a while they slip in one of those QB runs, and we've seen him now, right? He ran for a couple big first downs, and now the touchdown.
Great little piece of execution by the Forest Lake Rangers. Totally caught the Tornadoes asleep that time. Untouched. Watch him make this move right there. Gone. Wow. Really impressive. So now it looks like Forest Lake says, hey, we can score fast too. Look at that. 2 minutes. They drive it down 65 yards, and they score yet again 13-7, extra point pending.
And it's been, right, mostly on the ground again, right? I think they threw one pass that possession, and they've gone down the field for another 75 yards.
Extra is up and good and deep, almost out of the stadium. And that's going to be good. 14-7. Another great drive by the Forest Lake Rangers, who come in with a record of 1-0. Tornadoes once again going to look to answer on offense. Scores around the area, Zach. You've been following the Blaine team in the Coon Rapids game pretty close, and what do we have?
Blaine is down 20-0 right now at Rogers.
That's a bit of a surprise, right?
Well, Blaine played a pretty tough Lakeville North team last week and looked good, and Rogers got thumped by Moorhead last week, and so, right, if you looked at it on paper, you might have thought, right, be a big win for Blaine, but it hasn't gone out that way so far.
And then Coon Rapids, White Bear Lake tonight as well.
Yeah, the last I saw, White Bear Lake had kicked a field goal, and late in the first quarter, it was 3-0 White Bear Lake.
And we'll, of course, later on in the broadcast, we'll try to get you some updates on the Champlain Park Andover game happening as well on QCTV tonight, streaming as well. So we'll try to get you an update on that score, because I know you're probably interested as we are watching it from this one. Ready to go. Ready to kick it away is Anyuanga. The kicker for the Rangers, end over end. Fairly deep, not super deep, and it's going to be returnable for Harris. Derek Harris will cross the 20 to the 21-yard line before he's brought down. 7-0 Andover is what we're getting in our headset there. Andover off to the quick touchdown lead on the Rebels.
And that was an impressive win for Andover last week over Wayzata.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, if they're Yep, their debut there into 6A football, and they came in and took it to a Wayzata team that many thought were going to be pretty good this year.
So very impressive for Andover, and of course they're going to be here in a few weeks against the Tornadoes. Sieben will hand off. It's Rush on first down. Brody breaks a tackle, spins out of a couple of them, and he'll get to the 35-yard line. A little scintillating run from Brody Rush.
And again, Anoka quickly to the line.
Yeah, not wasting a lot of time on their side of the field, that's for sure. They get up to the line quickly, only about 10 seconds off the play clock. They hand it to Rush one more time. Spins again, spins another couple, and you'll get to the 41. Another pickup of 5 or 6, and Rush has been pretty tough to bring down as well here for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great individual play by him. The linebacker met him in the hole at the line of scrimmage, and he spins out of there and picks up 5 to 6 yards.
Second down and 3 to go. Sieben will hand off one more time. It's Rush. He's going to try to take it across for a first down and does to the 45-yard line. That's going to be enough to move the chains. Tornadoes trying to mount the drive again. 2 quick first downs as they look once again to answer. Might be a shootout here tonight. Who knows? Up to the line we go once again. Sieben sits in the pistol, fakes the handoff. He's going to roll out. Now he's got to roll the other way. He'll fire downfield. Nobody's there except for, oh man, that was almost picked off. It was one-on-one for Braley Aikinen. Man, that was close. Up for grabs.
Well, and there you saw the pressure from Howie Johnson right in the backfield, in the face of the quarterback, and he forces the ball thrown up, and they could have been come down, 50-50 ball.
Braylon Aikinen, the young junior, 5'10", had to switch and become the cornerback right there, as it looked like that throw was going to be a little short from Sieben. Now second down and 10. 8:29 to play. First half, 14-7. Forest Lake leads. Boyce in the backfield. 3-step drop, quick throw, and fires beyond Braylon Aikinen once again.
That was good coverage there by DJ Westerman.
And absolutely the coverage was there. Pretty tough throw. You take another look at this one. Just kind of zip this one. Little 1-2 step drop. All about timing. So they bring out, it looks like, they bring Buxton out, the tight end. So they want to have the extra receivers. So they're going to go 4 and a quick timeout called by Forest Lake. A little late sub by Coach Bowe, and Forest Lake didn't have the personnel, so they call timeout to look for a counter. Good time to shout out the marching band performed before the game today. I want to give a shout out to them because they work so hard. They're in the summer and they're out there right now performing, led by drum major Sophia Tudor, speech kid. Many speech kids down there on that marching band side. That's kind of an extension of my program down there, Zach.
Well, you got to shout them out then.
You have to, right? Otherwise,
No.
what? Then what am I doing up here if we're not shouting them out? But those kids work hard.
Oh, yeah, the band is out there all summer, right? Anytime you're out there for a football practice in summer, the band is out there too.
They are sweating it out with you, no doubt about it. Let's take a live look. Let's see what's happening over there at that Champlin Park Wayzata game, as it looks like Andover's just getting ready to kick off. And that one is sent, as you can get a look there, sent down. And let's see what Champlin Park can do on the road tonight. Champlin's kind of an interesting team, too. Another team that's replacing guys, right? You're trying to get going with some new players and new positions, new quarterback, all that stuff.
Yeah, they won week 1. It was the first time they're 1-0 since 2020. So they're feeling good about getting off to a good start.
Absolutely. All right, we're back to it. Third down and 10.
Empty look here from Anoka.
Now, we haven't seen a lot of that, and it's going to be a quarterback run for Sieben. He's going to cross midfield. He's going to get a first down all the way out to the 45 of Forest Lake. You could kind of see that one coming, didn't you, Zach?
Yeah, well, when they went to 5 wide, you notice there Howie Johnson, he widened his stance a little bit out, right, to attack on pass rush, and then they ran draw there, which is a great look right under him.
And they ran kind of away from him, right, or did they run kind of around him that time?
Well, I think he kind of takes himself out of the play when he comes so vertically on that.
And now it's a run by Sieben again, and he's in trouble in the backfield, and he's going to have to eat it. And he goes down 3 yards behind the line. Just nowhere to go on that one. third down. Now it's going to actually set up second down and about 15 yards. And I feel like we've been in this spot a lot here for the Tornadoes. Even though they've been able to move the ball effectively, they've had to work in some weird down and distances.
Yeah, and that takes you out of your game plan a little bit, right? You don't plan on a whole bunch of 2nd and 15s.
Hand off ahead, it's Rush. Rush is going to get some of that back, and it's going to set up third down and 10. Brody Rush is running with some real pace and rhythm. You know, I was wondering how they would replace Zach Welch because Zach was such a violent runner, such a fast runner. Feels like Rush is just as much a north-south runner as Welch was.
Yeah, and I think for all the accolades that passing offense had last year, the running game was really what made it all go.
Deep ball caught, touchdown! Sieben rolls out and throws a dime to the end zone. Caught by Brody Lackinen. Touchdown Tornadoes.
Oh, that's a heck of a throw, right? 50 yards. Plant your leg, get your hips flipped, and rip it down back over the middle, right? It's one of those balls that maybe when it's thrown, you're a little nervous as a coach, but man, did he put it right on him.
So they roll out Sieben. He just steps and fires, and it's a dart on 3rd and 10, and it's wide open for Lackinen. And now here comes some of that trickery that you mentioned, Zach, in the special teams.
Yep, now they'll run the kick team on late, but they still have plenty of time, right? There's still 20 seconds on the play clock. But if you don't adjust to it or you're not ready for it, then get 2 points.
Moran is going to line up here and try to knock down the extra point. It's been a really fun first half here so far between two teams that are different but are executing offensively. Moran knocks it through. We're tied at 14. Hey, we got the good game tonight, Zach. And everybody else, I don't know what they got, but we got the game here.
Yeah, this is turned into a little bit of a shootout, right? And so now, right, you have 7 minutes here, right? And an offense for Forest Lake that has shown that they can chew up some clock. So the goal here, right, is to get a stop and get the ball back in your hands and then let your offense do what it wants. Because we've seen Anoka, right? They can score quickly. They can do it fast, right? They don't need a ton of time on the clock. But you also don't want to let Forest Lake have a long plodding possession down and score, in 6 minutes and 50 seconds.
So now another adjustment potentially needs to be made. They did speed up Forest Lake that last drive. Forest Lake scored very quickly, but an adjustment does need to be made this time for Anoka. Clearly whatever we did last time didn't work super well, so we'll try again. Moran getting set to kick off here from the 40. Savageau back to receive. Along with Rayfield. And here we go. This one's not going to go out of bounds. It's going to go all the way back to the 2 and handle. Fumbled a little bit, but then picked back up. And now some room on the outside. That's usually dangerous when a guy fumbles it. He turns the corner. He's got room, and now he's finally knocked out of bounds at about the 36-yard line, but we got a flag. We got a flag.
Well, you saw him right there. He muffed the kick a little bit, and when that happens, sometimes your kick team gets out of their lanes, and it can lead to a big return. But I think we had a hold there out on the edge, and that's just going to come back.
Yeah, that's Roney. And that's usually what happens when you can run cross. Sometimes it works out great, but that's where you get a block in the back right there. And I think they were able to pick up on McCann. And I think they got him on a block in the back. So that's going to, again, put the Forest Lake Rangers a little bit deep in their zone. That's 2 penalties for them. They haven't had a lot of penalties in this game, but the 2 they've had have been on kickoffs.
Yeah, and that's been a killer, right? Because now, again, you're going to look at a big field, right? You're backed up or about the 13, it looks like, to start this drive.
I feel like this down, it's maybe overstated, but you feel like this down's probably the critical down, because if you can get them pinned on a 2nd long deep in their own zone like this, I feel like that's where you can maybe start to do some of the things you want to do defensively.
Yeah, but you can get them into long distances, force them to throw a little more. Then your pass rushers can sit on that, right? They're not buying the play fake.
Spread them out a little bit. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Now they bring Westman in motion again, as they have most of the game. Handoff up ahead. It's Richley, and he's going to go nowhere.
So there you go. Now we're in 2nd and 10, right? And so now you can do a little more too, right? You can get into your bag of tricks defensively, right? You can run some stuff and some stunts that maybe you want to try. and see how that works for you and put some pressure on the offense instead of being on your heels a little bit.
I think you feel like first team to punt here is at a disadvantage if that happens. Hasn't happened yet in this game. Johnson still sits. Has, I think, Richley with him. Now they bring Westman in motion once again. Now back to passes Johnson. He's going to roll out and fire. It's caught by Westman, who seems to be the go-to, but a great open field tackle right there.
Yep, and now you're in 3rd and 9, right? Another great play. And so, right, you talked about, right, no punts, right? Reminds me a little bit of the NFL game last night, right?
Yeah.
Dallas and Philly traded punches all the way up until that rain delay, right? I don't think there was any punts. Everybody scored on every possession pretty much. And then there was a fumble, and then the rain delay hit, and then it was just punt, 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 punt. So, right, when you have that momentum, you want to keep it on your side, and here's a big play now here for the Tornadoes.
This is a critical stop, I think, for Anoka if they can get it. They have it to a 3rd down and 7 at the 16-yard line. Johnson back to pass. He's going to look. He's going to fire, and that's going to be caught, and that's near the 1st down. They'll get it. What a great comeback and catch right there by Savageau. And he's got the 1st down for Forest Lake.
When I looked there for a moment, there might be an interception on the play,
No
right?
kidding.
That ball was in the air for a long time, right? And that's part of the problem, or you get to in high school, right? The hashes are so wide, and then you throw it all the way across field. Right? That thing hung up there for a while.
Yeah, Savageau had to run back to get that. Pressure was there by Justice. Just was not able to get his head around and try to make that pick happen. Savageau makes the catch and then makes a man miss to get the 1st down. A critical 1st down for Forest Lake. Now a little quarterback draw for Johnson, and he's got more room to run. Boy, the quarterbacks have been impressive on the ground as Johnson gets a 1st down as he crosses the 40 to the 41. Man, really good offensive execution here from Forest Lake.
Yeah, they've been impressive all day, right? They're moving the ball in a multitude of ways. Different guys are touching the ball. And that makes it hard then to make your adjustments. Like, what you got to start taking something away.
Yeah,
what can you take away?
they haven't even gone to Duragu on this whole drive yet, and he was the guy in the first 2 drives, right? Now Westman comes in motion. They'll hand off. There's Durago. We've been waiting for Kevin Durago to get a carry. He gets one there, and they bottle him up. He'll pick up a yard. Set up 2nd down and 9 with 4.5 to play in the 1st half.
And now Anoka's running a few subs onto the field here. Right, get some fresh bodies, right, and try to get a little pressure here on the quarterback and push the line.
And yeah, you don't have, like I said, those big guys, lots of size, so do you try to go more speed on the outside and see if you can't pinch in a little more? I mean, there's some interesting strategies there.
Well, I think it does present some challenges, right? They run a lot of tight end. They do some wing stuff, right, tight end and wing, and so that's creating an extra gap and an extra surface.
We'll see what they do. Johnson going to go right ahead. It's an option pitch. It's Richley. Richley's going to make a move. He crosses the 50, and he's out of bounds at about the 46 in Anoka territory. They'll give it a 1st down. Tornado fans would like a hold. They don't get one. But there is openings for officials at the Minnesota State High School League, so if you're interested in becoming one, they would love to have you. So just thought I'd throw that out there to our fans at Anoka and to anybody else who might be listening in the area.
So now it's getting a little interesting. The clock is starting to maybe become a factor for Forest Lake, right? Do they have to speed up a little bit maybe?
They might. Yeah, you're right, because you got 9 on the play clock here. They like to use the clock. Kevin Durago is going to make the move, and they're bottling him up a bit more on this drive, but he's going to move the pile forward as he crosses the 45 to the 44. He looked dead in the water, maybe 1 yard across the line of scrimmage, and he carries for 5. Big, strong kid. My goodness.
Oh, his helmet came off there, so he'll have to come off for a snap.
Yeah, so that will maybe change things a bit. 2nd down and about 6 or 5 at about the 44-yard line. Inside Anoka territory, clock is running, 3:15 and counting here in the 1st half. 10 on the play clock. Still time, but you're right, Zach. They are not in any hurry at this moment. Richley comes in motion. It's going to be an option move to Richley again, and he's got room, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds close to the marker, maybe a little bit short, as once again Josh Reither has to come up and make a play.
So I would not be surprised here if you see Forest Lake take a shot here on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, right? They're probably going to go for it on 4th down regardless. Right? So this is where they could take it down and maybe take a shot deep as they've lulled you to sleep a little bit with the run game here.
Pay attention to that as Durago back on. Kevin Durago's been a factor. Connor Johnson's ran the ball beautifully. They've made some plays in the passing game when they've needed to. They fake the handoff, play action. They go up top. You're right, Zach. It's caught. And that is going to be inside the 5, down to the goal line, and it is stopped there at the 1.
Well, there you go, right? So they run the play action, right? They stick it in the back's belly, and the tight end releases right up the field. And he's open.
Wide open. You're absolutely right.
And you can see there on the replay, right? The linebackers bite up, they step up, and he just runs right down the middle. And part of that is the way Anoka's had to play because they're playing without a safety on a lot of these plays, so they're trying to get down and stop the run.
Rayfeld gets it down to the 1-yard line. They go with a goal line look. Straight ahead run for Johnson, and he's going to get it. Touchdown as they cross the plane.
So, an interesting decision there from Forest Lake. They're on the 1 with 2.5 to go. They did snap the ball still with 14 seconds on the play clock, right? So they could have let it run down a little bit. Now Anoka will have 2.5 minutes and 2 timeouts to try to go back and answer here and get some points before half.
Been a wild first half, but right now Forest Lake just feels like they can do anything they want offensively. Not to sell Anoka short. They're certainly moving the ball and doing what they want to do offensively as well. But it's starting to feel like who makes the first mistake. Maybe who makes the first turnover, and right now that might be the only way Anoka can stop Forest Lake is try to get a fumble or a pick or something like that.
Well, I think both teams need to come with, right, are looking for a turnover and a stop. So I believe Anoka's going to get called here for too many men.
And that might change some decisions for Forest Lake because you could get a yard, you'd like to think, right?
Yep, and so here comes the Forest Lake offense back on the field.
Yeah, you can get a yard and just a couple of little, not a lot of mistakes for Anoka, but a few sloppy plays in some spots. This is certainly one of them. You don't want to be giving up these kinds of plays here. You got to think Forest Lake could get a yard. This would be a huge play for Anoka if they could make a stand here. Now they're going to go back and see what they're going to. Now the refs are talking again. And we'll see what's happened here. They'll make the call one more time. Yep, they do call too many men or an illegal substitution.
Yep, so they're in formation with 12 guys there.
So that'll move them to inside the 1 yard, about the 1, maybe or so. And that's going to bring the offense on the field. They will go for 2. Johnson lines up. He's got Richley right next to him, practically in his hip pocket. Johnson brings Westman in motion. And Johnson's going to run straight ahead, and he's going to get there. He's going to get there. He'll break the plane. It's 22-14.
Well, and that feels like a really important point there, right? Now they've pushed it to 8, right? And so even if they do give up a touchdown again, right now you got to answer with the 2-point conversion as well.
And I wouldn't even worry about that if I was Anoka, right? If I scored, I'd kick the extra point, wouldn't you? Just not even try to chase? Or is it too early to chase, or is it never too early to chase?
I think at this point I would start. Right?
You would do that.
I would go for 2. Obviously, right, we'll see at what point they score.
Yeah.
But I think
the issue is... Say they do it right before the half.
Right? Okay, so I would probably go for it. And the reason why is if you don't go for it, and now you're down by 1, right? The next time they score, right, that puts them up 7. Well, now they can go for 2 again and get up by 9.
Oh, it's a good
right?
point. Yeah.
So in a game where there's going to be points scored, right? I mean, we're not anticipating that 22 is enough to win this.
Right.
Right? But I think if you start falling behind and you eschew those points, it can catch up with you later. Now, I'm sure there's somebody else. My dad's probably at home saying you should kick the extra point. Right? He's old school. He always says take the points in the first half.
Yep, and I'm kind of a subscriber to that as well. But I hear what you're saying, though. It makes good sense. Kickoff taken. Yeikin has been very busy. He's got room on a straight-ahead run. He'll cross the 35 to the 40 to the 42. And Anoka, with 2:22 to go in the first half, has field position as they look to try to answer Forest Lake again.
Well, now an important drive, right? It doesn't have to end in touchdown, but you'd really like it to end in points. You are getting the ball out of half.
Right.
right? And so that flips that script where you're going, you get the first possession each time and possibly the extra one. But here they come now. They're going to go 4 wide. They have to pull the tight end out of the game, right, and add an extra wide receiver. We're getting the bunch down in the boundary. And that's something that's kind of unique to Anoka, too. There's not a lot of teams that will put trips into the boundary.
But they like to run those bubble screens, as you mentioned, and they like to do it kind of off of looks like this.
Right, and if you look now at the top of the field, right, it's one-on-one with half the field up top, right?
Brody
There's not a lot of help up there.
Yep, he's the high side receiver. Nope, Siebens going to fake it and run. Siebens going to cross midfield. He's going to cross the 45 down to the 40 of Forest Lake, and Siebens got another gear. And he's getting into the open field rather quickly. Both quarterbacks having great success on the ground.
Yep, and that's right. That's modern football, the dual threat quarterback, especially in high school now.
Siebens kind of got it all right now. Very impressed. He rolls out now, fakes position. He's going to chuck it deep. It's one-on-one. It's caught by Brody Lackinen. We got a late flag. Is this offensive PI? Or is it defensive PI? We'll see. Brody Lackinen makes the catch. A player went down for Forest Lake in coverage. We'll see what they call. I think there's 2 guys playing for position here, but let's take a look.
Well, the frustrating thing for me as a coach would be, right?
No,
it's
there
not.
Can't be. That's
it's not the.
there.
It's not the guy down the field who made the call. It's the guy standing at the line of scrimmage.
To me, I just look in the replay. There's just not much there. We'll see what they. I think did they pick it up here? Because they haven't certainly moved it back.
Yes. All right, they're picking up the flag.
Yep, so they pick it up. That play stands. Brody Lackinen has made 2 big catches in this first half. And they have brought all the way down with 2:05 to go. They're already inside the 10-yard line of Forest Lake. Now Brody Rush will step into the backfield with Sieben. 2:03 and running. And now a timeout. Timeout taken by Forest Lake. They need to kind of regroup here as Sieben seems like Anoka now is able to get what they want offensively.
Yeah, it's not what you're looking for, right? Like you're getting beat one-on-one. And now, right, but that's what we talked about, right? They're setting some stuff up over there, right? Like they like their one-on-one matchups, right? They've got the athletes to do it, right? And that's a heck of a throw down there. And a good play on the ball, right, where there's a little bit of jostling. The ref, who's 40 yards away, throws a flag, and thankfully the guy close to him talks him out of it, right? Because, right, I mean, that's like, well, why do we pay 5 of you? If there's a guy standing right there and he's not going to call it and you feel the need to throw it, and show your arm strength off to heave that flag down the field.
He did throw that quite a ways. That was impressive, for sure. So both teams huddling up here with a timeout. 2:01 to play in this first half, and it has been wild. 22-14 in favor of Forest Lake. Anoka driving down as they look to try to answer yet again. And does that change your strategy, knowing you get the ball out of halftime? Would you still want to go for 2, or do you?
I still want to go for 2 here. But the interesting thing is now, I mean, how much time do you leave for Forest Lake coming back, right?
Right.
And we've talked about them being a slower pace team, but I think they can accelerate if they need to.
So now they get Rush lined up behind Sieben. They look back, showing blitz. Here they come. They hand off. It's Brody Rush. He's going to break off a tackle. He's going to break off a couple of tackles and score. Holding, though. I think there's a flag coming in, and that's going to come back. Brody Rush got to the end zone, but there is a flag. And so I think we're bringing this back.
Yeah, the ref already made the early indication of a hold there on the right side of the line.
So the marching band starts the song maybe a touch too early, so they will bring this back, holding on the Tornadoes. Bring it back 2 yards. All right, so here we go. Back that up 10 yards. We'll try this again. And again, another long second down, or long down after a penalty. So now we go 1st and goal. We're all the way back at the 15-yard line. Sieben looks back at Coach Bo, gets the last signal, showing blitz. I think they might get some offsides.
False start on the wide receiver, number 1, moved early.
They're going to say that the receiver moved early. He did.
Yep.
Receiver moved 5 yards.
Ban was leaning there.
So that's part of them. The defense kind of leaning and jumping in. Did they draw him? It doesn't really matter, I guess. They're showing blitz. Band jumped, and they get 5 yards. So a couple penalties here. Not good for the Tornadoes. This is where you got to clean things up. Tornado fans not thrilled, but they got to be better too. First down and goal, we're at the 19-yard line. Sieben, they bring Buxton in motion, the tight end. They hand off Rush. Rush cuts back. He's got room. He's trying to turn the corner. Can he do it? He's to the 10-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds. Nice run by Rush. He went into the middle, nothing there, Zach, so he bounces it outside, and he's able to get himself some yards.
Yeah, he makes a little something out of nothing there, and now we're kind of back down to second and goal from the 10.
They'll spot him officially at, looks like, the 11-yard line. Minute 47 to go. Rush has had a very good, both teams really had a great first half. Sieben's played fantastic in this first half. Rush has played fantastic in this first half. Couple big catches from Brody Lackinen. Looking for more. They'll keep it. Sieben makes one move, makes two, but he's going to get eaten up this time. It's Howie Johnson comes in and takes him and wraps him up. And it's going to set up third and goal.
Just one too many cuts there. He probably should have just stuck his nose in and took what he could get. And that's hard sometimes, right? Because we just see a guy make a cut and make a play and have something happen.
He's had some success doing that tonight.
But there's the other side of it. If you dance a little too much, sometimes you get buried.
You don't want to play too many games with a guy like Howie Johnson. He's, knows what he's doing. He's been to handling school and took care of business this time. Now, Coach Bo, it's an interesting decision. Clock is running. You got 1:05. They got to get to the line now on third down and goal from the 11. Sieben gets Buxton in motion. 2-1. They got to call time. That's a flag, false start.
It looked like
the tight end wasn't where he was supposed to be. Sieben was yelling for him to get over. And Coach Bo is not loving, too many penalties for the Tornadoes in this first half. Way too many.
Well, that one looked like everybody went but the center.
So just, again, things looking just a little undisciplined here on this side of the field. There's probably been about 7 penalties on the Tornadoes in this first half.
Well, they've had a couple here on this drive inside the red zone, right? That's like three
on this drive already, which is just not good. Under a minute to go, 3rd and 16, 3rd and goal from the 16-yard line. They've got to get some yards here, and now they'll call timeout. Coach Bo says, let's talk this over. See what Coach Bo wants to come up with. He calls a timeout. He's got one left, so why not?
So it looked interesting there, right? With that setup, they had Lackinen by himself on the bottom of the field here, and it looked like he had some one-on-one action, right? So I would not be afraid to throw a jump ball to him in the corner of the end zone.
Sure.
But it depends on what you want to do here, right? It's 3rd and 15, so you could take a chunk of it, right? You could even think about something that brings the ball more towards the middle of the field if you're thinking field goal, right?
Sure.
We talked about those wide hashes earlier and how inconsistent the high school kicking game could be. But I think they're thinking touchdown here, not field goal.
No question about it. And you're right, Lackinen, a big target. Big, tall kid. They do have a couple of those tall receivers. Band's he's more of the slot guy, but Lackinen's a big target you can throw to, and they've certainly taken advantage of that in this first half.
Yes, right. We've seen a couple of jump balls for Anoka turn out the right way. And so now we'll see what they come out here with, something different formation, right? That's the interesting part. You showed something on both sides of the ball. And then there's a timeout. So now we see Anoka's coming out with a different formation. Anoka's going trips into the boundary, so now they're putting Lackinen by himself up top.
Yeah.
So I would watch a post or a slant for him. It'll be interesting to see the safety in the middle of the field if he can help on it.
Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it's Lackinen one-on-one up top. Back to pass Sieben. He looks the other way, and he's going to get sacked. Kevin Durago doing it all in the first half. He comes untouched on the other side. Sieben never saw him, and he went down. And I don't know if they're in range for a field goal.
Nope, I think they're going to take it down here, right? They can take it all the way down to right before the half, call their last timeout, and then they'll have some sort of plan here to get the ball into the end zone.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Moran has a good leg. He can kick, but this would be 40-something yards. 40-something yards with a kind of a cold ball on a cold night. It's hard to think that this is an easy one for him, and we'll have to see what Coach Bo wants to do. Calls his last time out, and you just couldn't run that sequence any worse. The Tornadoes had 3 penalties. They take a sack. I mean, that was just a disaster.
So one thing we haven't seen yet from Anoka is the running back screen, right? They ran it a couple times last week, and I know that Bo's loved it over the years. This could be an interesting spot to try that, right? You're at about the 24. It is maybe a little longer. You have to fool them for 24 yards, right?
Yeah,
and make a play at the running back. But it depends on what you like better. Do you like that? Do you like something where everybody's running to the end zone, knowing that, right, the defense knows you have to get it in the end zone? Is it a jump ball situation? So I would not be surprised if they go screen here and try to have their athletes make a play, but it'll be interesting to see how Forest Lake then lines up to respond to this, right? Because the 24 is not too far, right? It's not Hail Mary, right? You can still run your stuff, but you still got to get the ball down the field.
So they will take a shot at it here. 4th down and goal at the 24-yard lines. 3 seconds to play. Last play of the first half. Sieben with Rush right behind him. They go with Jykinen and Band to the near side. They have Lackinen up top. Back to pass Sieben. Saban will step forward. He's trying to get away. He's looking. He's still looking. On his feet, he throws end zone. It is incomplete. Incomplete. And that is the end of the first half. Forest Lake able to hold from 1st and goal at the 5. And
it looks like Ban is down on the field here.
And is Ban down on the far side? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let's hope that's not anything super serious. Ban took a huge hit down there, and so they're going to certainly go check on him as they go here to the half. And hopefully we'll keep our eye on that as well. What a first half, though, Zach. Great first half for Forest Lake. Anoka really did play well in this first half, just didn't get the answer there at the end. It's too many penalties.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's what the struggles inside the red zone there, right? We had 3 penalties for Anoka. They took a sack. That's not what you're looking for, obviously. Now, the good news is, right, they're going to get the ball back, right? So you can go down and answer and score and tie this thing back up. But it's really going to come down to, right, they're going to have to make a stop at some point, right? You're going to have to, now, in this situation, at some point you need to make a stop to win this game.
It's going to be fun to watch. It's been a really fun first half. The second half should be just as fun. We don't think the scoring's done. We hope you're enjoying it on QCTV, and hope that second half will be coming around here for you real soon. Here at Youth Night, as you can see, the youth have taken the field here at Goodrich Field. We'll give them the time. We'll be back in a little bit on QCTV. Forest Lake leads at the half, 22-14.
Hi, I'm Maddie Frecking, and I'm the Athena winner from Anoka High School 2025. So I started off with baseball, and I played baseball for about 8 years. Then I switched to softball, and I've been playing softball since. Volleyball I played for about 8 years, and then I've been playing basketball since 1st grade. Definitely my parents and my older brother. We would always go at it in like the backyard or on the driveway, baseball, basketball. He was definitely one of my biggest opponents, but also one of the most fun competitions we always had. I always knew, because I don't know, I just love being active. I love the competitiveness. That's probably my biggest piece. I'm a very competitive person, so sports are a good outlet for that. One that probably stands out the most is when I got to play in the Little League World Series when I played baseball with my team. It was in 2019. I was the 19th girl to be there and the 6th girl to ever pitch. So it was just one of those things where it was like a real honor to play there. And it's one of my greatest memories, I'd say. But I'd say with each sport, there's also like one of the top memories for each.
Got hot, so did Maddie Frecking from down.
Yeah, so I'm for sure going to play softball there for the 4 years. I got recruited to play there, and it was definitely my top choice. Growing up, you always see those big college games, and I don't know, I'm really excited to just play at that next level. My junior and senior year, I chose to do PSEO, so I was full-time college student, full-time athlete. And it's definitely something hard to do, but once you're able to kind of get a swing into the thing, like your time management and stuff, it's definitely a lot easier. Our AD emailed me and he was just like, "Congratulations, you're the award winner." So then I texted my parents, told them. And you don't really realize how big of a deal it is until you go to that banquet and you see all the other crazy athletic girls, and it's just a really cool experience. As a person, they've definitely shaped a lot of my relationships I have, like with just the way I can talk to people and friends I've made along the way, lifelong friends I know I'll have. They've definitely given me that. They've kind of made me a very disciplined person, so others and just taking it in and teamwork and that kind of thing. And one of my biggest things is always leave it all out there. So leave it all out in the field, leave it all out in the court, and you just always do your best.
You have a good day?
Sit. Yeah, good.
So we drove down to Faribault, Minnesota to meet with Rosie and Tyler Lawrence. Rosie is a wicked smart and very cute golden lab that just turned 1 year old. And Tyler is a very sweet and passionate guy that is working with Rosie.
I'm 25 years old. I'm from northern Minnesota, St. Louis County from Virginia up north. I've always loved dogs. I've always had dogs my whole life. So yeah, I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to work with dogs,
Tyler is also incarcerated at the Minnesota Correctional Facility in Faribault.
Yeah, we are in the minimum security unit.
Can you go down? Rosie, down. Yes, that's a good girl, Rosie.
Through a tremendous organization called Can Do Canines, the dogs are being trained by these incarcerated individuals in the prison. The dogs live with these individuals, and they're being trained to be assist dogs to go out and help people after the training is complete.
We raise and train service dogs for people with different types of disabilities, and those dogs just fundamentally transform people's lives. They're amazing.
Her favorite thing to do would be, it's what we call tug. It's basically, we have like a rope toy tied to like a drawer or a door. Tug. Yes, closed. Closed. Yes. Or any object that would need to be opened. And we can have the dog actually open up said either door or drawer, for anybody that may be immobile and not able to use part of their body, like their hands or whatnot, to open up certain things. So it's great to wake up every day and you got a dog in the room. I get to take her out in the mornings and I get to play with her all day. So it definitely can boost your morale and your mental health in a situation like this. So I can't be more grateful.
Our prison programs are vitally important for the success of our program.
When I got Rosie, and it was a highlight. Highlight of my day, still a highlight every day for me to wake up with a dog. So I absolutely love her. She is my favorite.
They get to pet and cuddle with these dogs, so as you can imagine in a prison environment, that's very powerful. For some of them, this is the first time they've had long-term responsibility. So when the dogs move out, these inmate handlers are incredibly proud. You know, the level of pride, and you know, you go visit a facility, you talk to them, they show off the skills that the dogs can do, and they're just beaming, right? Because, you know, they did that. They made that happen. And so for me personally, that's, it's very powerful, it's very moving, and our prison programs are really, I think, just incredibly, incredibly valuable.
Yeah, it's really, you can see the want and the drive that the guys have. I mean, it's pretty great. Who doesn't love seeing dogs at work?
The staff at the prison actually chooses the participants. So people actually apply, inmates actually apply to be part of the program, and in many cases it's pretty competitive. You have to have a really good record. You obviously can't have a crime against an animal or anything like that. You know, this is, for many of them, this is all they've got in prison, and there's a sense of redemption for them because they've all done something wrong. Some of them have done really terrible things, and this is a chance for them to maybe not make it right, but at least do something and give something back to people. And so it's extremely valuable for them, and it's extremely valuable for us because we get really well-trained dogs from it.
My release plan as of right now is to go back up to where I'm from, up north. Not 100% sure what I'm doing. I'm mostly probably going to be looking towards the trades, but like I said, I've had dogs my whole life, so being able to take these skills that I've learned here and apply them out there, even for personal dogs, is going to be great.
Teaches them patience and teamwork and positive reinforcement rather than negative reinforcement, and it changes them as a person so that when they do leave prison at some point, and most of them will, their life won't be the same. They will be on a positive path rather than a negative path, and it's a huge part of our program that we probably don't talk about enough.
If you'd like to help out Can Do Canines, they're always looking for volunteers. And if you want to learn more information about the organization or the prison program, you can visit them at candocanines.org.
Hi, my name is Kate Drummy. I am a student at Coon Rapids High School, and I serve on the board of directors for the Anoka Hennepin Educational Foundation. AHEF is the nonprofit organization that has been partnering with your Anoka Hennepin schools and staff since 1990. Our mission is to cultivate equity and innovation for our students. We do this by raising funds and awareness of their needs, specifically where public funding ends but student needs continue. Donors to AHEF bring new opportunities to our students and schools. Teachers and staff request funding to more deeply engage students and get them excited about learning. Donors have funded many grant projects in recent years, including Kevlar canoes for outdoor adventures classes, an elementary school set of ukuleles for kids to learn how to play, virtual reality goggles for students in high school civil engineering and architecture classes who are using VR to learn scope and scale, and more diverse reading materials to reflect the diversity of our students and their diverse interests. Our educational foundation also provides direct student support for students who otherwise could not afford to participate in after-school activities, take college credit earning exams, or take career certifications to get their career path started. Donors also fund scholarships for students continuing their education. Leading the Anoka Hennepin Educational Foundation is a volunteer board of directors that includes community members, retirees, current teachers and staff, and students. AHEF is proud to have students like me on our board representing each of our major high schools. I chose to join the AHEF board because I wanted to help better our district for the next generation. Seeing the effects of so many people's generosity has been so rewarding and makes me hopeful for the future leaders coming from our schools. So, as we like to say, if you care about kids and you care about education, we welcome your support. Whether it's as a volunteer, donor, advocate, or sponsor of one of our events, please reach out. More information can be found online at www.ahef.us. You can also reach our staff, Tess DeGeest and Karen Westensee, at 763-506-1105 and in person at our office at 2727 North Ferry Street in Anoka. Our students are our future. Please join me in creating equitable and innovative experiences for students across the Anoka Hennepin School District.
My name is Stanley Kusnoki, and my brand new book is Social Studies, and it's a collection of poetry, and it's called Social Studies because a few years ago there was an article in The Guardian, and the topic was poetry is the new journalism. And since I was trained as a journalist, I went, oh, that's very cool. And so my poetry tends to be topical, and so this book covers roughly from Philando Castillo through the January 6th insurrection and other points in between. So current events, but also personal events like the death of my father. And the other cool thing that I think is unique to how I do my books is I've included works of my former students. I used to be a teacher. And so I like to give them, it's sort of a Japanese tradition. I think a lot of cultures do this for the mentor to include his mentees in his work. And that gives them the sense of, wow, I'm published. And there's nothing like it. I remember when I was first published and saw my poem in print, there's no feeling like it. So hopefully that'll encourage them and other students to keep writing.
Rum River Art Center is your local nonprofit organization located in the Old Milk Factory near downtown Anoka. Our nearly 6,000 square feet of windy and whimsical studio spaces are filled with inspiration. At Rum River Art Center, we embrace individuals of all artistic abilities and focus on the healing aspect of the process over your final product. We pride ourselves in offering classes with a huge variety of mediums at an affordable price. From one-time ceramic wheel throwing classes to multi-week painting courses, from creating at the Art Center to finding us at your local library, we believe art is the catalyst for connecting human beings to each other and themselves. Come visit us or check out our website, rumriverart.com, for more info on classes, galleries, special events, and how you can support the arts in your community.
The Anoka Lions were chartered in 1956 by local Anoka businessmen. Lions Clubs International and the Anoka Lions Club have evolved and changed over many years with a membership of men and women, young and old, that have come together to serve our community. That service is through financial giving and boots on the ground, with 100% of all funds raised going back to our community. Do we work? Yes. But do we have fun? Well, that's a big yes. Some of the local projects we support are Fishing with Youth, Haven for Heroes, Anoka Legion Post 102, Feed My Starving Children, and countless more. Events you can find us at: Rockin' on the Rum, Riverfest, Anoka County Fair, the Masons, Ribs, Bibs, and Blues, Vintage Fest, and many, many others. So, if you are looking for friends, fellowship, and fun, and you have a heart for service, then come join us. Contact me, Lion Vicki Violet of the Anoka, Minnesota Lions. Lions, ordinary people doing amazing things. We serve.
Hi, my name is Chris Norbury. I'm a local author who lives in Owatonna, and pleased to be accepted for the local author fair here in Anoka County. The book that got me into this event is titled Little Mountain Big Trouble. It is a middle grade level adventure novel that's a great read for readers from approximately 9 to 99. It's inspired by my 20 years of experience as a volunteer with Big Brothers Big Sisters, And based on the experiences I had with my 2 long-term little brothers, and also talking with other big brothers and big sisters and learning about the program, and I wanted to write a book that would be kind of an inspirational story for kids in that middle grade level age range who are maybe not the most avid readers, maybe they don't have the self-esteem, maybe they've got some troubles, and I wanted to write a character that was somebody they could identify with and maybe get inspired to follow their dreams, which was part of the story, and also to believe in themselves and maybe even get interested in reading for pleasure and for their own education rather than just reading because they have to. Because what I found out is that in that middle grade level range is about when kids decide that they're either going to be lifelong readers or they're not. So that's how the story started. It's an adventure, it's high stakes, and at the end it's kind of a coming of age story where the 12-year-old boy who thinks he's the biggest loser in the world realizes I'm a pretty cool kid after all, and I'm worthy of respect and dignity, and I don't need to get bullied and pushed around anymore. So.
Greetings, dear viewer. On this next episode of Game Sharks, Corey and I are talking about all the things we missed over the past couple of months, including Claire Obscure Expedition 33. We're talking Doom, the Dark Ages, but most importantly, we're talking the Switch 2, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. So many things are on tap for this episode, and we're hoping you'll join us.
Welcome back to Goodrich Field, everybody. Historic Goodrich Field. Tim Anderson and Zach Nienaber in the historic press box. Maybe another word for old. I don't know what you want to call that, but here we are. We're back at it again. Tim and Zach with you, and it was a heck of a first half, Zach. If there's one thing that's not historic or old-fashioned, it's what we're seeing on the field. Both offenses marching up and down.
Yeah, it's been an impressive showing from both sides. We'll see now here. Anoka's going to get the ball first. If they can go down and score and answer and tie this thing back up.
It was an interesting end to the first half because Anoka drove all the way down to the 5, 3 penalties, a sack. Pretty good stand by Forest Lake, and they were able to hold at the end. We were wondering what team would hold first. It was a hold for Forest Lake, and now, as you mentioned, you're right. Anoka still has a chance to tie the game here, but they had a chance to maybe go ahead if they could have scored something by the end of that first half.
Right, and now I think, the message in the locker room is like, all right, we need to go down, right? We need to score, but then we need to stop, right? You're going to have to come up with a stop at some point here and get your offense back on the field with a chance to take the lead. And we'll see kind of what the adjustments are for both teams here in the half.
We will definitely be watching that closely. Good quarterback play by both sides in the first half. Connor Johnson was fantastic, and Blake Sieben also really impressive. A nice bounce back for the young junior.
Yeah, I think he's thrown the ball well. He's made some plays with his feet as well, and that helps always in the offensive game. And we'll see now here how he does in the second half if he can put the full game together.
Obviously, Brody Rush was fantastic in the first half of the Tornadoes. Kevin Durago, very, very good for Forest Lake as well. It's been a really interesting game, and the second half should be more of the same. Tornadoes will get the ball first. Coach Bo having a word with the official quickly. Certainly, no doubt, trying to grease the wheels here a little bit, trying to see if he can get some calls on his end. But about 7 penalties in the first half, and they're all pretty good calls on the Tornadoes. Got to clean some of that stuff up.
Well, it starts here with the special teams, right? Can you get a good return on your kick, set your offense up for success, and go from there, right? We'll see. They've kicked the ball down to about the 4 or 5 yard line each time, and that's given the return team some time to return the ball, right? And so I think on Forest Lake's side, they would prefer just if they could thump it into the end zone, or even just get a little more hang time, right? Even if you dropped it at the 10, but it was hung in the air a little longer, that might give your coverage team a little more chance to get down there.
I walked out there at halftime, and the flags weren't really moving. Wind has really died down. It was a very windy day, and I thought we would have a really cold, windy night. And it is chilly, but the wind has not been as big a factor as I kind of thought it might be in this game tonight.
Yeah, when I walked up about 3 hours ago, the wind was really swirling, it felt like. I looked at the flags above the bleachers on the home side, and they were blowing one direction, and it looked like the flags on the other side were blowing a different direction, and the flags on top of the goalpost were blowing yet a third direction. But now they're all pretty limp, and that's not been a factor.
And that certainly made it a little more pleasant on a cold night here, as temperatures are in the low 60s, almost into the 50s here, probably by this stage of the game.
But it feels like football weather, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We're back to a 7 o'clock start, which feels a little more traditional in the football sense. So, but yeah, fall came early.
Temperature's going to be back in the 70s for next week, but tonight it feels like football. Anyuanga with the kick deep, taken by Yekinen, and Braylon makes another move, and he has really been impressive on special teams. He'll break the 30, and he's knocked out of bounds. Braylon Yekinen has been fantastic in special teams. A couple of nice run backs, and they will get going again, will the Tornadoes, in decent field position. So here comes Blake Sieben, leading the offense yet again. Sieben's been a guy that Coach Bo was pretty high on. Yes, he was behind Padani last year, but as a sophomore, Coach Bo felt like he had a lot of confidence in Sieben if something were to have happened to Padani. That didn't happen. Peyton was pretty durable. But Coach Bo has been high on Sieben for a couple of years. Handoff rush on first down. He gets met at the line of scrimmage. And that is really some great instincts from Kevin Durago.
Well, he sliced in there, right? He saw the hole, he filled, and then he finished it with a tackle. And that's, right, the part that sometimes is missing. Sometimes you see guys fill and they don't finish it off with that tackle, but he filled that nicely and brings up second and long.
Brody Rush has certainly broken his fair share of tackles tonight, but he wasn't breaking that one as Durago was able to put the hammer down. Second down and 9 from the 31-yard line. Sieben the look. Gets the call from Coach Bo. Buxton still lining up. Now he kind of moves in motion. They'll hand off Rush yet again. Now Rush cuts back. He'll cross the 30. He gets to the 35. He's going to get to the 40 before he's knocked out of bounds. A couple yards, right on the stick, it looks like, for a first down. Very close. And I think they're going to give it to him.
So that's one of the changes in high school football recently. If you notice, they will almost always spot the ball on a full yard line.
That's true.
Very rarely do they place it in between anymore. And so then that makes there's no need for measurements often because, right, if it's touching the next line or right, then they know it's a first down.
Eliminates the drama of bringing out the chain gang there.
Yeah, it's kind of a missing art. Nobody gets to pull out their index card to check for a first down.
Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? We'd love to have that. Boyce, now he's going to roll out. Now it's empty. Back to passes. Now everybody moved. People jump. Procedural penalty once again. Coach Bo hates it, but they called that right away for a false start. And referee yelling back at Coach Bo, explaining what the call is and how that happened. And I think we see it as let's see the run moved in motion. And right there, the wide receiver. But again, the lineman looks like they're almost drawing that.
Well, and if you saw the ref, he kind of gestured there. He said he's not crossing the ball, was the explanation
so
given,
he can
right?
do that, right? So he's not breaking that.
Howie Johnson lunges or moves a little bit forward, but he said he didn't break the plane, so therefore it's not a penalty. And then when your Anoka guy takes off early, they they get it.
That's about 4 or 5 pre-snap penalties on the Tornadoes tonight. They'll try basically that same play. Now, Sieben fumbles it. He's going to pick it back up, and now he's just got to run and try to get something out of this, and he'll get to the 38-yard line. And once again, the Tornadoes, even though they've found a way to dodge this a few times, back to 2nd down and long yet again. Rush back in for Boyce. So another procedural penalty, then a pre-snap fumble. It's just, man, just little stuff like that is kind of holding this young Tornadoes team back tonight. Sieben trying to shake that one off, and now Rush back in once again. They line up pistol. Back to pass Sieben. Has his eyes out there the whole way on Jykinen. And that's incomplete the whole way.
And that's a nice drop there by the linebacker to get underneath that and force a bad throw.
I was worried that was going to get picked off right there because he had just eyes for one receiver. That was a one read throw the whole way there. 3rd down and about 12 from the 38-yard line. Again, Tornadoes start with a couple first downs. Now a penalty. They've backed up a little bit. Critical 3rd down play. We've always talked about who would get the stop. This would be critical for Forest Lake if they could get it. They're up 22-14 in an offense that looked unstoppable in the first half. Back to pass. Sieben. He's got to roll. He's got to go. He's got room as he moves. He's going to throw on the run. It is incomplete. Incomplete, just out of bounds was Brody Lackinen as he was coming back for the ball. He was open. Throw was on the boundary, and Lackinen could not stay in bounds. It's 4th down.
Well, he did a good job of dragging the toe there, but I think his other foot came down just out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like that's probably the right call and a good one indeed, and they will punt, it looks like. So, punting unit on. Certainly not above some trickeration, so we'll have to see. Kellen Brewer on to punt. Splitting guys, showing a lot of different looks in this punt formation. We'll see what happens. Kellen Brewer will run, and then he'll throw it. He'll kick it. A little Aussie rules kick there, and that's going to go out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. So they'll end up punting away in our first real punt of the night, our first hold by a defense.
Well, they probably would have liked to get a little more distance out of that punt, but again, now you get your defense on the field, right? You need that first stop of the game. We'll see what happens here with the adjustments. Do you see you still on balance from Forest Lake? How does Anoka respond to that?
Have to kind of see indeed, and this is going to be a critical possession because if they get up 2 scores here for us, like they haven't been shown that they can be stopped yet, and if you think they get up 2 scores, that could be trouble for Anoka. Connor Johnson, who's had just a terrific game. He'll line up once again, and there you see it. They stack everybody to that high side. Johnson hands up. Nope, flag flies. I think we're going to get a procedure penalty on Forest Lake. False start. That's probably their first penalty on offense. They've had a couple special teams penalties, but they have not committed a lot of mistakes offensively, certainly no pre-snap penalties.
And that's played into their favor, right? They've been in on script, right? We like to say, right? They're in 3rd and short. They're able to run the ball. When they want to, they haven't had to throw it. There's really only been like one time you're like, this is really a throwing down all game.
That's right. 1st down, 15. Johnson might be a throwing down here, but maybe not. We'll see. Westman comes in motion. Now they're going to blow that dead. More movement. And that's going to be another false start on the Forest Lake Rangers. And now they're in 1st and 20. You can see just a little flinch. It looks like let's see if we can, right there. Yep, that guard jumped a little bit early.
All right, so 1st and 20 feels like a throwing down.
You'd think so. Xavier Lopez was the one who jumped right there, the guard for the Forest Lake Rangers. So, 1st and 20. What's on the sheet for this one?
Well, you still could see they are still unbalanced here, so I think you might going to get strong option.
Richley's in, and that's kind of when they've gone option is when Richley's come into the game. Durago came in motion, and now they're going to roll out and throw. It's going to be a nice completion by Johnson to Durago, and these little safe passes seem like they've been there all night for Forest Lake.
Yep, and they're usually on the move, right? The quarterback's rolling out and getting into the flat, but it shortens that pass. It makes it an easier completion. It's just a little pitch and catch.
Pitch and catch gets them to 2nd down and 12, so still behind the chains, but they got a nice chunk of that back on 1st down. And you're right, they don't throw a ton, but when they do, it's pretty effective. Not the same play-action stuff we saw last week on film, Zach, but now you see them rolling out, doing a little bit more of that in their passing game, and they bring Westman in motion yet again. They fake the handoff, and it's going to be a run for Johnson. He's going to get upended, and a nice tackle that time by Devin Lucas as he's able to come and make the play, and slow to get up is going to be one of the Forest Lake offensive linemen, 55. That, I think, is their it's their left guard, Alex Nees. And he's up and then back down. He was up and then he went right back down. Coaches are going to come check on him. Clock is stopped with 3rd down and 10, and really critical spot right here for the Anoka Tornado defense. If they can get off the field here, you got to feel like that would boost their confidence a bit.
So you're thinking it's probably a passing down.
Yep.
You just seen an offensive lineman go down. So do you bring pressure now over that spot, right? You're bringing in a guy cold off the bench, a backup. We'll see if they bring pressure there as a defense, right, and try to take advantage of a sub coming into the game.
And there's a lot of veteran coaches on that defensive staff. Defensive coordinator Adam Denicky, longtime head coach Jeff Berkeley sitting down on the field as well. Tim Hale, a lot of guys down there who have been on this staff a long time.
I feel like Tim's been there for a long time, too,
I think
right?
he has, yeah. So it's a veteran defensive coaching staff. And that's good to see the young man getting up and walking without assistance. Limping for sure is Alex Nees, but he is at least walking on his own, and that's a good sign for the left guard for Forest Lake. So he will come off. Backup looks like it's Colton Moore. Colton Moore will come in. 3rd down and 10. Big down right here. They bring back 2 safeties. Now they're going to do a reverse, and there's room. It's Westman. Can he get to the outside? He can. Flag's coming, though. There's going to be a hold. There's going to be a hold, I think, on Forest Lake. They had the 1st down.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing a good job of driving his guy, but he really just buried him there at the end. The thing is, the hold happened way downfield, so it's only 10 yards from the spot, so you're going to end up still here with like 3rd and 3. So not all is lost for Forest Lake there, but so we'll probably bring it back to about the 45-yard line here of Forest Lake.
Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do because that's where the flag is. So they are going to move them back.
Well,
now they're going to throw that at the 50.
Back. Yeah.
So now they'll back from like the 49, almost 50, and that changes things a little bit because that makes it 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7. So 3 penalties on Forest Lake on this drive after a pretty clean first half from this offense. So that's going to bring 3rd and 8, so really just a net 2-yard pickup there for Forest Lake. And they kind of burned the good trick play on that one, too. So now what do you do?
Well, I think 3rd and 8 can be manageable, right? Like, they can run some of their offensive stuff, especially if they decide to go for it on 4th down, right? You're at midfield, and you've been able to run the ball pretty effectively. But it looks like they're going to talk it over here and kind of decide what their plan is. Because, again, right, if you're going to go for it on 4th down, then I think run is wide open here on 3rd down.
Trying to get their crowd into the game of the Tornadoes and a timeout taken. So timeout. 3rd down and a long 7, short 8, something like that. Final score came in. Rogers beats Bling, shuts them out tonight, 20-0. Kind of a surprise after kind of the results from last week. But as you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Zach, that move from week 1 to week 2 is really interesting, and oftentimes we see some interesting results.
Yeah, I think that's the week you have your biggest growth. And I think it's hard, too, in week one. Like, we see games and we see scores, and we think we know some things. But when week 2 happens, that's when I think you learn a lot more, too, because now you have a bigger sample size. In other scores, White Bear Lake leads Coon Rapids right now 22-0, and that is late third quarter.
And it was 14-14 Champlain Park Andover at the break, so they are in early third quarter as well. Crowd getting loud. Johnson back to pass. Here comes pressure. He's got to get rid of it, and he does. It's caught, and he's short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down and 5. A big open field tackle right there as they were able to complete that pass as Jacob Rayfield was open. But it looks like the tackle was made by Max Sweet.
So it looks like Forest Lake's going to line up here, and I would expect a hard count.
Trying to see if, they can get Anoka to jump perhaps. We'll see if they go. They go right to the line quickly, and that's what exactly this looks like right now. We'll see if they snap it. They got plenty of time to wait on this if they want to, and they're going to actually do a quick kick. They back up the quarterback. They do a quick kick, and that's going to be a really great punt, and that's going to back up if they try to do a little curling sweep to get that to the 6-yard line, but it'll be down right there. Great job on the quick kick from Connor Johnson.
Well, there's your stop that we talked about, right? They've got the stop. Now your offense can come back out and reset. Okay, we got a long field, but, right, they have a chance to go out and match now and tie this game up.
8:29 to go in the third quarter. We're seeing all the plays, right? You saw some reverse, you saw a quick kick, you're seeing all kinds of stuff tonight. Very fun, action-packed football game here tonight at Goodrich. Opening home game of the season for the Tornadoes. They lost last week on the road at Eden Prairie. Brody Rush lines up on his own goal line. Sieben in front of him, the quarterback, in that pistol formation. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Quick out. They complete it. It's Ban, and he's drilled. And that's going to be an unnecessary roughness call or defenseless receiver. That will be a defenseless play. And we have to take a look at this as Ban made the turn. Ban's, he's not looking. I mean, like, he hits him pretty square in the back that time, and then he stands over him. That's the big one, is the cornerback. They might get him actually on the taunting because he stood right over Caden Ban after he did that. Tamakong stood right over Caden Ban, and that might be the call as well. That's going to be 15.
Well, I'll say this as a defensive coordinator. Those are the type of hits and plays and breaks on the ball that you like to see. Sometimes they're going to call them, right? Occasionally you're going to get called. You have to play on the edge.
Yeah.
I would be frustrated if it was called against me. I understand why it gets called, but it's hard. I mean, it's a tough spot for him to be in.
It's a bang-bang play because if Ban makes the catch, you kind of have to make the tackle right there for sure. I think what they might get him on, though, is it looked like he stood over Ban at the end of the play, and I think maybe that could be what they called. So they get a first down. Do the Tornadoes. They get all the way out to the 21-yard line, so they escape the shadow of their own goal line. And now here we go, a little pitch. It's Rush. Can Rush turn the corner? Good pursuit by Forest Lake, and they will knock him down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's a big play as Tamakong once again steps up, makes the play on Brody Rush. Good pursuit by Forest Lake.
Well, and there you go, right? He seems to have a nose for the football. There he is, and making another great play. After getting called for a flag, right, he rallies. He doesn't, get in his own head. He doesn't mope. He's right there back making another nice play.
Absolutely.
And that's what you like to see.
Good stuff indeed. And that's the first time they've really done kind of a pitch play for Rush. So showing a little wrinkle that time was Coach Bo, but that one sniffed out beautifully. Now Sieben on the low snap. He's got to dump this thing, and he throws it at the feet of Caden Ban. And it's going to be 3rd down and 11. Back to the line of scrimmage we go. 3rd down and 11. And again, back in these long down and distances are the Tornadoes, and I feel like they have been there all night. And things starting to get a little restless here. The natives a little restless here on the Anoka side for sure. Starting to voice their displeasure. And once again, plenty of openings at the Minnesota State High School League for officials. If you want to go ahead and take a job there, go ahead and do that. Same with the Forest Lake side for sure. Back to pass, Sieben on 3rd down and 11. He'll fire. It's caught. It's complete by Caden Ban. Ban will cross the 35 to the 36-yard line. First down, Anoka.
And a big first down.
That was a big throw by Blake Sieben, standing in the pocket and firing a strike into the chest of Caden Ban. And a wide open, good route. Handoff indeed. Here comes Rush on 1st down. He'll cross the 40 and get to the 41-yard line. A nice pickup of about 4, setting up 2nd down and 6. And Anoka, again, looking tempo here, speeding things up, getting to the line. 9 seconds off the play clock, and they are already at the line getting set.
And that included Anoka running some subs on and off.
Ban makes the catch, and he's quickly brought down. He'll pick up maybe 3, and that's going to set up 3rd down and short.
And that's a difference of the college and the pro game, right? In the college and pro game, if the offense subs, the ref will stand over the ball and allow the defense to sub or some time. But here they don't, and they rush out. It's just an interesting prospect. I think that you may see that change at some point in high school too.
Especially as teams start to go to these sort of spreads and different looks and things like that, right? It's not the old school days, I think. Some of the old rules are a little archaic at the high school level still. 4 wide receivers for Anoka. Sieben back to pass. He's going to roll out. He's got some room as he'll cross the 45. He'll get to the 50, and that's going to be a first down. A first down for Blake Sieben. And he has been impressive. And again, I think that's a huge difference for this Tornado offense is his ability to make plays with his feet. They'll go first down. They spot the ball at the 49-yard line of Anoka. Tornadoes trying to drive again. Rush straight up ahead. Good pursuit by the offensive line as they get a push, and Rush is going to cross the 45 to the near the 44-yard line. Actually, they're going to spot him at the 46. I thought he got further than that. But I guess not. But it's still a good pickup for Rush as he'll get 5 on first down. Clock running, 6 to go, 3rd quarter. Tornadoes continuing the drive. Ban lines up in the slot to the high side. Lackinen sits up top as well. Coach Bo looks to change plays at the line. Now Sieben's going to yell to the lineman what the call is. Jump back, handoff, Rush. Rush goes straight ahead. And Brody Rush is a machine as he crosses the 40 to the 39.
So it looked like there may have been a little confusion there at the handoff as the quarterback started to look one way and the back went the other. But luckily they were able to complete the handoff and run it for a great play.
Rush has some really good, his first burst is really fantastic. And that offensive line doing some work for the Tornadoes. Handoff, it's going to be Sieben on the keeper. Sieben's got room. He'll get to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown! Anoka! Blake Sieben on the keeper. Takes it 39 to the house. And it's 22-20. A great fake from Sieben to Rush. And all of a sudden there was nothing but daylight for the QB, and he runs it all the way in. Here comes that swinging gate look. And we'll see if this is what they choose to go for on their 2-point conversion. Sieben lines up with it.
Yep, they're going for 2 here.
Sieben's going to try to run through the hole. Did he get there? Did he get there? What's the call? They got him lined up short right now. Bo thinks they have it. And a penalty, is there a marker down first?
I don't think Anoka was lined up legally.
So you think there will be a penalty first there?
Yeah, I think, but if they're short, then it'll be declined and no good. So
let's see what refs huddling again. We'll see what they end up calling.
This seems like a very long discussion. I mean, so they never signaled in or down, which was first, I think, the first interesting thing, right? Like neither guy made a call.
No, that's just it. It's close. Like, I thought he broke, at least it's close to the plane. Like, either his knee's down at the 1 or he's across. I'm not really sure what they called. And I'm waiting to see what they say here. And now ref's going to finally come out and say, yep, it's a procedure penalty on Anoka. Now, Coach Bo is not thrilled here because I think they call it declined. And so, yep, that's the result of the play is a conversion failure, and it's 22-20 in favor of Forest Lake. So now it's going to be an opportunity for Forest Lake to get back on offense in a 22-20 game here in the third quarter. Just wild. Tornadoes got the momentum back on their side. Now they need one more defensive stop and see if they can get up ahead. Coach Bo still looking for an explanation from one of the side judges, as he's just not thrilled with what he has seen there.
I think the first thing is, like, I'd be interested to hear what the call was for an illegal formation, right? Because they line up in swinging gate over and over and over again.
They do it all the time, yeah.
So my question is, what did the ref see or think he saw?
And Coach Bo still wants an He's basically talking to anybody who will listen at this point. He's gone to like 3 different referees to try to get some kind of clarification on this. Just exasperated right now on the sidelines. Dare I say apoplectic. We'll have a vocabulary test later on. All right, we're going to get a kickoff. Here we go. It's not Gus Moran, though. It's Noah Pahansky will kick this one. The senior defensive back, and he'll boot it on a straight line, and that is going out of bounds. That's a procedure. That's twice tonight. Moran did it earlier, and now Pahansky does this as well. And Gus has done the kicking all night, all season. It's an interesting move. Gus is on the sidelines. So, 35-yard line. And it's going to be 1st down and 10 coming up for Forest Lake. They had their first punt, I guess you could say, quick kick from Johnson of the night on their last drive. Tornadoes turned around and went 95 yards to get back within 2. Crowds into it. 1st down and 10. Johnson, they bring pressure to the line. There is no safety help over the top. Everybody's in the box for the Tornadoes. Johnson tries to get away, and he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd down and 10 for Forest Lake.
Well, they definitely have brought it down. They're daring Forest Lake to throw the ball, right? And so the interesting part now becomes, do the Rangers take that shot, or do they try to stick with what they're doing and be stubborn and run the ball, right? And we saw earlier they hit that tight end right up the seam.
They sure did.
And so I would not be surprised to see them come back to something similar.
So 2nd down and 10. Now they're in a passing down. We'll see if the Tornadoes try to keep bringing guys to the box or if they'll at least go single high, and it looks like they go single high safety. Johnson, he will hand off. Durago. Kevin Durago is going to be met in the backfield and brought down by the honorary number 7 this year, Dawson Lawrence, one of the captains for the Tornadoes, in to get him.
Well, I think you're seeing those adjustments now that have been made by Anoka here in these 2 drives, right? They've really come downhill. They're bringing multiple guys. They're jamming gaps up. And they're going to dare you to throw, right? They're going to make you beat them with something that you're not comfortable with.
And we got a Forest Lake player down again at the line. Is this another lineman, or is this isn't Durago, is it? I'm trying to see if I can get a number. They're stretching him out. They're kind of holding that leg up. Maybe a cramp? Could be, because you just see the way they're stretching him out. Still stretching him here a little bit. I think this is Durago. It looks like 0. on the ground. And if that's okay, I mean, he's been all over the field all night. If there's one guy who might be a little tired, it could be him, playing both ways. And so let's take a look at the QCTV schedule coming up. We got a lot of games coming as we are just getting the school year started here on QCTV. Hope you are enjoying the early season action that we've brought to you for the first couple weeks, and we've got more coming as I am trying to see the screen. Here we go. Volleyball coming up. We got the Happy Days Parade. Of course, volleyball, Eastridge and Andover coming up soon. Centennial and Champlain Park for football, and also the Huskies and the Cardinals for football next week. Should be fun. All right, 3rd down and 11. A long down for Forest Lake. Crowd gets loud for Anoka. Johnson keeps it. He's in trouble, and he's brought down. He's sacked. A huge play by that Tornado defense.
Well, and there's your problem in 3rd and long, right? They go with a slow developing, couple of fake handoffs, but nobody's really buying the run on 3rd and 10, right? So your pass rushers are able to tee off, and they get home because they dip underneath the guard and make a nice play.
Mason Brent goes straight through, gets a hold of the shoulder of the quarterback Johnson and brings him down. And a punt coming for Forest Lake. Josh Holtshoe will punt it away. It's a good one. Sent all the way back to Ban. Ban will take it. He'll cross the 30 to the 40, and now he's going to the 45-yard line before he's finally brought down. The Forest Lake coaching staff not thrilled. They'd like a hold on the corner. They didn't get it. And now it'll be a 1st down and 10. Good field position start for the Tornadoes. 3:22 to go in the 3rd quarter, and now you feel like momentum's starting to swing a little bit.
Well, they've had 2 really good possessions defensively where they've not been on the field for a long time. They've gotten the ball back. They've had it in good field position now here, right? They're almost at midfield. And you got to like the way this half has gone so far here for the Tornadoes.
Definitely has got the crowd energized, got this defense energized, and now Sieben will try to go back to work. Yikinen, the only receiver on the near side. Wyatt Buxton comes in motion. They'll hand off to Rush. Brody Rush cuts through. He's going to get to the 49-yard line on 1st down and pick up 4 yards. 3 to 4 yards right there for Rush. And again, trying to keep the tempo going. Up to the line quickly, about 10 seconds off the play clock as the tempo starting to pick up even more here for Anoka. Sieben looks back quickly. He'll snap. No step on the drop. Now finally rolls out. Caught by Ban. Ban makes a man miss. Stutter step down to the 42, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down for Anoka. Caden Ban's starting to become a real factor in this game as he's been able to get open a few times. 1st down and 10 Anoka as they have moved into Forest Lake territory. 2:40 and running.
Feels like the level of physicality in this half has really increased as well.
Yeah, both teams are sensing some momentum here, and both teams want this one bad. Buxton came in motion. Now he sets on the line. They fake that. Oh, it's going to be a late flag. Late flag flies as that is caught.
That's going to be a legal motion on the running back. He stutter stepped just a little bit, so it's an illegal shift.
Yeah, illegal shift on Anoka. Buxton had it, caught it, but they're going to back up 5, and that's going to set up a 1st down and 15. So an illegal shift called right there. Good call, Zach. Young team, this Anoka team, early in the season. Still quite a few penalties. You're going to see some of that.
Yeah, right. It's a whole different experience playing on a Friday night than a Saturday morning, right? When those lights hit and you have the band and the crowd, and it's just a whole nother atmosphere.
Oh, right up. He's in the neutral zone here at this corner. And now they back everybody up, and now it looks like everybody's back straight ahead here. And, boy, a lot of shifting there before the snap. Rush tries to pick up the corner and does. Sieben will throw on the run. It is intercepted. No, out of bounds, they say. Out of bounds. They think Band might have had it first. They thought they had a pick, but it is out of bounds, says the referee. Sets up 2nd down and 15. Forest Lake thought they had a pick.
That's a heck of a break on the football by the defensive back there.
Get a chance to look at that on replay for sure. That was close. As Ban looked like he had an opening there for a second. Closed up nicely by Forest Lake. 2 minutes to go. 22-20 the Rangers lead. They've led the whole way. Coach Bo yells for a timeout and gets it. Coach Bo saw something he didn't like, and play clock was running down. So he wants to regroup here. Don't want to take another pre-snap penalty. So a timeout taken. Want to make sure you get the right play here on 2nd down and 15. And I just feel like Anoka's been here all night.
All night,
2nd and 15, 3rd and 13. They've overcome it. They've done a heck of a job overcoming it. But, man, they've been here a lot.
And that's the thing, right? Mentally, they can say that. Like, hey, we're fine, right? It's 2nd and 15, right? You're probably in 4-down territories. You've crossed the line here, right? Unless you ended up in like 4th and 15, then you may punt it down, right, and try to play the field position game. But right now you're in the huddle thinking we got 3 more plays to pick this up, so you're not going to panic yet.
And Coach Bo thinks he's probably got the full play sheet at his disposal here because they've been running the football effectively. They've made big throws when they've needed to. A fun game here tonight at Goodrich. We certainly hope you're enjoying it at QCTV wherever you are. If you're watching on our YouTube or on the website, I hope you are enjoying it this evening. Or just sitting on your old-fashioned cable at home. Hope you're enjoying it. Having a great time. Buxton comes in motion. Yikinen backs off the line because he has to be uncovered. Now back to pass is Sieben. He'll take a 2 or 3 step drop. Now he's got to move. He's got to keep moving. He's going to weave through and dance and heave one, and that's going to be over the head of Wyatt Buxton, who looked like he slowed down a touch. I think Sieben had room to run.
Yeah, I was going to say that's when you may have liked to see him continue down the field and run a little bit, but now you're in 3rd and 15, right? And so again, I go running back screen has got to be on the table here for Anoka, right? We haven't seen it yet. And I feel like that's been a staple over the past couple of years.
Something you're kind of waiting on here. They ran a wheel route to rush on a touchdown pass early in the game. That was one of the big throws of the day from Sieben. But you're right, they haven't gotten Rush involved a ton in the passing game outside of that wheel. So you wonder what they'll run here. 3rd down and 15. They bring a man in motion. Back to pass is Sieben. Blake looks. He'll dump it off, and a big hit right there, and incomplete. Incomplete. And that was a big stick over the middle, and Ban just got hammered.
So that was kind of that underneath wide receiver screen that they had ran earlier in the game with some success. This time the linebacker sat on it, and that's a big hit.
Yeah, Ban has taken some shots here in this 3rd quarter, and that's kind of the life of the slot receiver right there over the middle. Knew he was going to get hit, and he got hit pretty good. And they will bring on the punt. 2nd time they will punt here, Kellen Brewer. So they move the ball a little bit, but they get stalled out. A penalty and some incomplete passes get them off schedule. And finally they can't overcome a 2nd and 15, and they will punt it down. Fair catch called and made. Fair catch is called and made right there by Roney. And now Forest Lake goes back on offense, and now these two offenses that couldn't be stopped in the first half, here they are in the 3rd quarter, and both defenses finding a way to get a stop.
Yeah, they've exchanged punts here a few times, and Anoka has flipped the field a little bit, right? They've put Forest Lake on the long field, and now hopefully for them they can get a stop here again and have some field position.
Minute 40 left to play, 3rd quarter. Tim Anderson, Zach Nienhaber with you. Forest Lake leads 22-20. 22-20 the score. Forest Lake leads. They jumped out early, 7-0. They've been trading scores. 1 2-point conversion is kind of the difference in this game. A run on 1st down, not much there. Pickup of maybe a yard.
And so if you go back to both of those 2-point plays, right, the Forest Lake one had the benefit of a Anoka penalty.
Right.
So they went from the 1.5-yard line, and then Anoka lines up to go for 2 and has a penalty on their end, right? And they ended up short, but the penalty would have negated it either way.
Yep.
So those things have loomed large here tonight for Anoka.
Something to think about. Yeah, if we get down to the end, we're going to come back to those two plays for sure. Running here is Westman. He's been coming in motion all night. They finally get it to him, and he's going to get dropped. Good play there on the defense by the Anoka Tornado defense as they have come up big in this third quarter. Ryther especially. Josh Ryther making probably his 5th or 6th tackle here tonight. And that's going to set up third down and pretty manageable still. 3rd and 5 for Forest Lake. Another one in on the stop for the Tornadoes. That was 33, Nick Wellman. So he comes up and makes that play as well. Johnson rolls out on 3rd and 5. He's going to throw on the run. It's caught. First down as Westman is able to make that play and hang on to it.
It looked like there might have been a little confusion there in the secondary with that motion, right? Anytime you get motion across, if you look here on the completion, right, there's men in the area, but it was almost like they lost their man there for a moment.
Yeah. So they were able to stop him as soon as he caught it, but he had the open space to make that catch. They're going to run this down to the third quarter. We've got an interesting fourth quarter coming up. Forest Lake starting to drive once again, and we'll see what they do with it when we come back on QCTV.
Hi, my name is Minda Gomez, and I'm the author of the Martinez Kids Adventures children's book series. And these are chapter books based on a bicultural family. They are bilingual, they speak Spanish and English, and these 3 siblings travel into virtual reality in the form of animals, and they solve different problems and they learn important life lessons. And they are just a lot of fun. They're based on my own bicultural family. And the kids are definitely spunky and they like to get into trouble sometimes, but they also have a lot of heart. So yeah, check out the book. This one is called The Island Rescue, and it takes place in the Galapagos Islands.
All right, we're back on QCTV. Right as we start the fourth quarter, hand off to Rago. He's going to go straight ahead on first down and not pick up a ton, as the Tornadoes have done a good job of bottling him up here in this second half after he just ran wild in the first half.
Well, that was a slightly different look for them there. They went under center. They had multiple backs in the backfield, but nothing really doing on that run.
2nd down and 9, that sets up only one score in that third quarter. The Tornadoes got the touchdown on a Sebin run, got it to 22-20. Johnson, a little quick out. That's caught. Westman able to make a man miss and get to the outside before Ryther throws him out of bounds right near the stick. Out at about the 44-yard line. I think they might be a yard short. Maybe. Depends on where they spot this thing. 44-yard line. Nope, they're going to give it to him. Nope, they aren't going to give it to him. I'm just trying to see where the chain gang is moving here. Stand up straight, will ya? Here we go. 2nd down and 2. 3rd down and 2. I take that back. Here we go. Yeah, stand that stick up so we can see what's happening over there. Come on, guys. 3rd down and 2. We finally got that straightened out. Big play. You got to think it's 4-down territory regardless, but a big play here as Westman comes in motion. Johnson trying to work his way through and keep it, but he's stopped. He's stopped short of the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down and 2.
Interesting decision now here for Forest Lake.
Because you don't want to not get this and give the Tornadoes a really short field with a chance to take the lead.
I think you may see that quick kick again, right? They may line up and then elect to kick it.
They have Johnson lining up. He's still in regular, like his shotgun formation, wide receiver or running back. No, they jumped! They jumped! Alex Nees jumped! And that might be it. If that's a false start, I mean, players were jumping all over the place, but if the Forest Lake Rangers jumped, that's going to set up 4th down and 8 or 7. Now they're going to try to see if Anoka made them jump, and we'll take it was close. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure how that one doesn't go against Forest Lake.
Yeah, it had to go, and Forest Lake, it goes against them, and now it's 4th down and 7, and I don't know how you can go for that.
Yeah, now they got to bring the punt team out.
Yeah, they bring the punt team. That's going to be a huge stop, and now they got to run the special teams out quick.
Which, even if you were going to punt it anyway, you weren't going to have the opportunity for a return, right? Because they were going to quick kick there. But now you bring the whole punt team out, and Anoka can respond with their punt return.
Anoka trying to get their subs out quickly. And they do. Here comes the punt. Slow developing punt, but it's a booming kick. Way booming kick. They got to cover this ball, and they do at the 10. Wow, that punt was fantastic. Holtshoe just hit a bomb. And those are dangerous returns. I'm surprised that one. I'm just glad they fell on that one. The Tornadoes, those are dangerous ones to return as Brock Sieben was back to try to go get that thing. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 10. Good work by the special teams of Forest Lake, but a big stop again. Credit to Adam Deneke and the defense here for Anoka. They have really made some adjustments here in this second half to slow down this Forest Lake team that looked just unstoppable in the first half. Blake Sieben. A good performance tonight from Blake Sieben after certainly a rough one last week at Eden Prairie. Oh, they thought about a pass, a halfback pass. They'll throw it, and they throw it at Coach Bowe. So they run a little trickery there at the 10-yard line. Sniffed out nicely by the Rangers.
That's an interesting call, right? Backed up in your own end. You're not maybe expecting, that's not the time you would expect a trick play. But Forest Lake had it covered pretty well.
One thing you know about Coach Bowe is he is pretty fearless. He will run what he thinks is a play. If it doesn't matter where it is, he is not. You would not call him an uber conservative coach. He will play very aggressively, and that is certainly a very aggressive call. Back to pass, a little screen. There it is, that halfback screen. It's going to be Rush. Rush is brought down from behind in a great tackle, and that's going to be a late flag as it was Johnson who came in and made the play. Howie Johnson, but a horse collar, I think, is what they're going to get on Rush.
Well, we've been waiting for that screen all night. And we got it, and they closed on it really well. But, yes, if you watch here on the replay, it looked like he got up in his shoulder pads on that tackle.
So they get, and you're right, right there. Right there is the call, and that is a good call by the officials. That is a good call. It's a dangerous tackle to make, but Rush is fine, and everybody's okay, and it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. And that gets, again, out of the shadow of your own goal. You get up into good field position up near the 30. You're at the 28-yard line of the Tornadoes. Big pickup for them. And they'll get a first down. 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in this one. 22-20 Rangers lead. And we're rolling again. Buxton backs up and now comes in motion. Handoff, and Boyce fumbled the ball! Boyce fumbled the ball. Who's got it? Forest Lake says they have it.
It looks like number 7, Cullen Christensen, came up with it there.
Moses Boyce looks like he just never had it. And he drops it at just the worst time. We're waiting to see who has it. They have not ruled officially, and Anoka now says they have it. Who's got it? There's still a pile. Forest Lake says they have it. Anoka says they have it. No, Forest Lake's got it.
Yep, and it was Cullen Christensen there at the bottom of the pile who came out with it.
Yeah, Moses Boyce just never had the handle on the ball, and he lost it, and that's just we were waiting on a turnover. We wondered when that would happen. It couldn't have happened at a worse time for Anoka. Super disappointing there, and now they need a huge stop by this defense. Can't allow a touchdown. Field goal maybe. Can't allow a TD right now. And this is the biggest drive of the game for the defense of Anoka. They have got to hold them down at the 28-yard line if they want to. A touchdown here, and I think it's Professor Plum in the conservatory with the candlestick.
I was waiting for a clue reference.
A clue, there you go. You got it. Just wait till I get to Ganip Ganop. Hand off to Durago. He'll hand it to the outside, and he's going to be brought down by Lawrence. Got the first hit on him, but couldn't bring him down. And now finally, the Tornadoes rally to the football, and they bring Kevin Durago down. And a pickup of maybe a half yard. Not much there. Setting up second down now and 10. Is this 4-down territory for Forest Lake, or do you think they would be okay with 3?
Well, we saw their kicker thump a couple of those field goals earlier. So they may be in range for him, right? I mean, nothing's a given in high school kicking, but he looked like he has the leg from here. I think, if you can go up by 5, that at least gets you right away from a field goal beating you.
Correct.
So I think that has to be on the table.
Johnson rolls out. He was chased, missed. He'll throw to the end zone. There's an open man, an incomplete, and a late flag. Late flag. And that's going to be PI on Anoka. And that's going to be PI on Anoka. It's going to be an automatic first down for Forest Lake. Take a look at this throw. Face guarding. Yeah, he never turned around either.
Yeah, he looked like he may have gotten there a little early. It was close.
If he turns around and plays the ball, I don't think you get a call there, right? He's facing the receiver, and that's why the call happens. So that's probably a good call right there. Absolutely. You got to turn back to the ball. That's what they talk about all the time in coverage. You have to, if you're seeing that receiver trying to anticipate a catch, turn back.
Well, in all game, we've seen Anoka make plays on the move and scrambling, and that was the first time I think that Forest Lake really felt the pressure and got one out on the move.
Now Johnson, this is way different here from inside the 15. Johnson's going to option this, and Durago's got room. Can he get to the 10? He'll cross the 10 and get to the 9-yard line before Lawrence brings him down. 8 minutes and 45 and running in what could very well be the ball game here for Forest Lake. And I think this is close, so maybe they want to take a look at this measurement. No, they got a player down, I think. Yep, we got a player down. Player down, I think, for Anoka. Don't have a number as of yet, but we're going to take a look here as quick as we can. Athletic trainer, I think that's Heidi Beckendorf down there taking a look. Let's waiting here to see, is this... And there we go. Looks like is that 3? Number 3 for the Anoka Tornadoes. And that's Dre Ellis. So Ellis comes off and certainly hurting. And we'll get second down and 5 from around the 10-yard line here when we resume. Tornadoes looking perhaps to sell out to the run right now. Just the one safety not playing super deep. A lot of guys in the box for Anoka. Westman comes in motion. Johnson hands up straight ahead. Now Johnson will keep it. Can he get to the 5? It's close, and it looks like he's going to have the first down. Johnson keeps that. A lot of misdirection at the line of scrimmage, but I think that's going to be enough. That's close. Oh, it's maybe close. 3rd down and a yard. They stop him just short. Just short.
Well, here come the big guys now for Forest Lake, right? You see Howie Johnson coming in on the offensive side of the ball.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Couple of defensive linemen came in here.
This is a student body somewhere here. They're going to follow some big dudes. They go under center. The handoff is for Durago. He goes straight ahead, and he's in for the touchdown. Forest Lake leads by 8. Extra point could make this a 2-possession game. Obviously, that turnover was huge, but there's going to be a lot of plays in this game that the Tornadoes will look back on and say, man, if only. The end of the first half, the 2-point conversions.
Well, on that play there, you just saw the replay. The whole right side of the line just caved down, right? They brought in the beef. They ran right behind it, and it results in a touchdown.
Extra point can put the Forest Lake Rangers in the driver's seat with 8 to go. And that's going to be, that was a bad snap and no good. Wow. Wow, a bad snap. They kicked that and missed it wide to the left. Boy, that's huge.
Well, we keep it at a 1-score game, and, I mean, right, 8 minutes is an eternity
sure
for
is.
the Anoka offense. So, right, we're still several plays left, or several series left in this game.
I was just thinking, well, here comes Anoka. They got to get into some kind of 2-minute offense, but now they can run, and they're a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from tying the game. Just a game of swings. It is just the pendulum has moved in directions just over and over again. It looked like Anoka maybe was going to have the momentum. Then Forest Lake takes it back. Then a missed extra point that you thought really could have put Anoka behind the 8 ball. If they make that, they're up by 2 scores. That's a billiards reference, by the way. I don't know if the kids watching at home on YouTube understand that reference, but I thought I would share that behind the 8 ball is a billiards reference, just so you know. I knew you knew that, Zach. I knew that you were aware of that.
I have the billiards table in my man cave, so.
Well, there you go. I notice I don't get a lot of invites. Kickoff there from Anyuanga. All the way back to the goal line. Looked like the Tornadoes got tripped up together, but there's daylight, and there's lots of daylight down the sidelines. It's a foot race and out of bounds. A huge run back by Derek Harris, and only the kicker saved a touchdown. The straight line speed, Zach.
And he was really close to fielding this in the end zone. Right, I thought this one almost have gotten
You
there.
notice how they kind of tripped, almost looked like they tripped on each other. And just all kinds of room to run, and I thought he might have taken it, but the kicker was able to take a good angle. Anyuanga saved a touchdown. It's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
And those kickers love it when they get a tackle.
That's it. Put a tackle in the sheet there for him, the stat sheet. He gets it. All right, Siebens got a short field with 7:50 to go. Handoff Rush. Rush tried to follow the block behind Buxton, and he's got room to the 25. Stopped at about the 26. He'll stay in bounds. Clock moves. 7.5 to go. And you wonder if this could be the Brody Rush show here, if he's going to get a lot of carries at this stage of the game. 2nd down and 5.
So it looks like they may be going same play here, back to back.
They go right to Rush again. He goes straight through. He's up to about the 22, 21-yard line, and he'll be about a yard or two short of this 1st down. But you're right, same play, same look. They brought Buxton in motion and ran right behind him.
And Anoka will do that sometimes. Right? If it goes well, they'll speed up to the line and try to run it right away again.
If they see something they like, especially if a defense hasn't subbed or anything, if you see a matchup you like, makes sense to run it again, right?
A lot of their run game has gone away from Johnson tonight, right? They've run to the other side, which makes sense.
Yes. Now Buxton stays in. They didn't run Buxton a ton in the first half. They had him more on the sidelines. They were doing a lot of 4 wide receivers. Now they're trying to move Buxton more, and they're running behind him. Hand off to Rush, and he's bottled up. He goes nowhere. He goes backwards, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, but not much. And it's 4th down. This is I don't want to say it's the game because it's not the game yet, but this is a huge play coming up for Anoka. 3 running plays from Coach Bo and this offense from inside the 30-yard line. I don't hate the call, though, because it was 3rd and short. And now it's 4th and short, just 3 yards. How do you get it? Sieben from the pistol, waits, and they got movement. Oh, Buxton might have flinched, I think, the tight end.
I think this one might be on 50.
Oh, sheesh. The pre-snap penalties tonight are just enough to make you pull your hair out, and it's a good thing Coach Bo and half the staff's bald. I mean, goodness gracious. It's going to set up 4th down and 8. And now you have to go for it, and you got to pass. I mean, you kind of need this right here for the Tornadoes. And after the great kick return, you don't want to stall out right here. Critical down, critical play, 5:49 to go. Coach Bo makes the last-minute call. Sieben to the line. They got plenty of time on the play clock. Sieben's back to pass. He's going end zone. It's Lackinen one-on-one. There's contact and no call, and it is incomplete.
That was pretty good coverage there by the cornerback. Good
coverage indeed on the outside. Both guys going after it. Both guys going after it, and it ends up being an incomplete pass. They go one-on-one for Brody Lackinen on the outside. And that is a turnover on downs, and now the defense has to come up big one more time here in this second half to give Anoka a look.
And if you're Forest Lake right here, the goal is to get into that 4-minute offense and grind it out, but they haven't had a lot of success here in the second half picking up first downs.
They got the short field, which they were able to cash in for a touchdown, but it's the only points they've scored in this second half after having their way with Anoka in the first half. Tornadoes have adjusted nicely defensively, but now they need a big stop. Westman comes in motion for Johnson. Handoff to Rago. He's trying to turn the corner to the outside, and again, not much happening as that interior line for Anoka has really tightened things up.
Yeah, I mean, the Anoka Tornadoes here, it looks like they're bringing everyone, right?
Yes.
And part of that is they're making good run reads at the linebacker space, and so when you trigger, it looks like you're blitzing, even though you're not necessarily. But they're not gonna be biting on pass here, right? They're coming downhill hard and trying to stop the ball and get it back to their offense here with a couple minutes to go.
I don't see Forest Lake wanting to make a lot of passes here because why make a throw and get an incompletion, get a stopped clock? You don't want to take those kinds of risks. The clock is your friend right now.
Right. I think the counter to that is Anoka has the ability to score, with really any amount of time on the clock.
That's fair. Up the middle with Johnson, not much there. A couple of yards, going to set up 3rd down in about 6.
If you leave Anoka with 2 minutes or you leave him with 1:30, I don't know that there's a big difference in that.
That's probably
right?
true.
So
right?
I wouldn't be afraid to throw the ball here if you feel like you've got something, maybe some sort of like that tight end down the middle here, right? Like something similar to that. I wouldn't want to have a long developing play here. I would look for something quick in a play action, but we'll see what they come up with.
3rd down and 7. Johnson only got about 2 that time on 2nd down. Sets up a 3rd and long, and Forest Lake was never in this down in the first half, and they feel like they've been in this down a ton in the second half. 3rd down and 7, which isn't necessarily what this offense likes to function out of. Johnson will throw a quick one. It's caught and upended short of the first down. It's 4th down and 2. They try to go with a quick pass, as you talked about, Zach, get something quick developing, and they stop just short of the first down. It's 4th down. I just don't think you can go for this, right? I feel like you almost have to kick it. Because if you don't get this is super risky. But I don't know.
Well,
they're going.
I think if you get it, right, you're looking at one more first down to ice the game.
Yes.
If you don't get it, you still have to give up the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
That's fair. You're right.
So it is risky. I don't hate it, though.
So Coach Bisco says, we're going to try to win this game right now. Oh, they're hard counting at the line. And they're just going to take the delay, it looks like. So they're taking the delay of game, which I don't know if I understand that. I feel like if you I understand taking a delay when you're worried about kicking it into the end zone, but I don't think that's a fear here, is it?
No, probably not. The 5 yards is not the worst thing in the world, right?
Sure.
And maybe they feel that the timeout is more valuable than the 5 yards.
That's fair, right? That's the comeback, is saying, like, I would rather have 2 timeouts.
So Anoka has nobody deep. Now they're running guys on late.
Yeah, they're bringing their guys out deep, as you can see. That's Ban. Ban is back there along with Brock Sieben. So they bring 2 guys. They're bringing pressure, but that's not as good as the last punt, but it's not bad. A spiral right to Brock Sieben. He'll make a fair catch at the 31-yard line. Hey, guys, there we go. Late flag. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, and Coach Bo is not thrilled. Yeah, they're going to get a penalty there after the play as a couple guys were kind of tangled up. And it looked like Winter Bobarindi looked like I don't want to say he didn't look like it wasn't like a punch or anything, but it looked like a shove, and that's going to be...
He went back for one more.
Yeah, he did. He went back for one more when he didn't need to. Just not a great decision right there by Winter. So it's after the play, so Anoka's going to keep the ball, but now instead of at the 31, you're going to be at the 16, and you just can't have plays like that in this stage of the football game, and that's just not what you want to do at all. Not good. So back it up. It's going to be 1st down and 10. And it's going to be at about the 15-yard line with 3:06 to go. It's been a heck of a game here tonight at Goodrich. It's been a lot of fun. Hope you have enjoyed it for sure. Game that has gone back and forth. The pendulum has swung. It has been a lot of offense, but we've seen some defense here in the second half.
Well, we talked about it earlier. This is very much like the NFL game last night. A lot of scores early, and then things cooled lately to a defensive struggle.
Back to pass Sieben. He's got pressure. He's got a throw. It's incomplete.
They were trying to set up the screen there again, and the Forest Lake D lineman did not bite.
3rd down or now 3:02 to go. 2nd and 10. And at Forest Lake going to try to slow things down a little bit by getting a guy to tie his shoe and, hey, whatever you can do. But they're on the hash on the far side. Scrimmaging from the 15-yard line, 2nd and 10. Rush in the backfield behind Sieben. A 0-step drop and a quick out to Ban. Ban gets hit, and he will pick up quite a few yards there, at least a couple. Out to about the 24-yard line. That's going to leave him 3rd and short.
Well, that's a good break on the football there by D.J. Westman. And you see, he tried to throw the shoulder into the football and drive it out. Caused that turnover, but Anoka hangs on to it.
Caden Ban is going to probably need the ice bath tonight. He has taken some shots in this game. Back to passes Sieben. He's got to run, and he's got nowhere to go. Sacked. Big play by Forest Lake on defense as Cullen Christensen, who picked up the fumble, gets the sack. 2 minutes, 10 seconds and running. No timeout right now. And this is basically your football game right here. 4th down and 7. This is the game with 2 minutes to go. They got to get this 1st down to keep it going. Sieben, back to pass. He's got to go. He's going to run to the outside. Does he have a man? Now he's got nowhere to go. He throws it back over the middle. It's up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Lackinen and Jykinen were right there. And it falls incomplete. And now Forest Lake's got 1:40. They can run out the clock.
Well, Forest Lake will need to pick up one
first down
to end it. Anoka has 2 timeouts.
That's true. Oh. 1:40 to go. So tough. Sieben just tried to keep that play alive as long as he could, and then he just had to throw it up for grabs like it was a game of 500. And it falls incomplete. Now great field position. All they need is 1 first down. Johnson, kind of a pro formation, a little variation of that. Durago goes straight ahead. That ball's loose. That ball's loose. That ball is loose. Who's got it? Anoka thinks they have it. You got to be kidding me. Who's got it?
Second down.
Second down, Forest Lake. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That was close, and the Tornadoes thought they got a gift. Instead, it will be second down and about 12 for Forest Lake. So I think a timeout called by Coach Bo. And that'll set up a second down and 12. I got to assume you're going to keep this on the ground, force them to burn their last timeout.
Yeah, I don't think they'll throw the ball again.
Yeah, and you got to be careful on these handoff exchanges now. Obviously,
let me take that back. They might throw the ball on fourth down, right? If they get down to fourth down, you could throw one. Because I don't think they'll try a field goal from here. Even though a field goal would end the game or put you up by 2 scores, I don't. There's so many things that can go wrong in that situation. I think field goal's off the table here.
Oh, no question about it. I think you're absolutely right. You don't want to do anything where you could get a block and a run back or anything like that, right?
Right.
Second down and 12. Just an update. Champlin leads on Andover 28-24 with 12 seconds to go. And what's been a great game down there at Andover tonight. 2 good ones on QCTV. They'll hand off Westman to the outside. Westman can't turn the corner, and he's brought back to the 30-yard line by Anoka. And they will call timeout.
And a smart move there by Westman. He got over to the sidelines and did not go out of bounds.
That's right.
He stayed in, made the clock run.
You think like Anoka was thinking maybe trying to run him out, try to get him out of bounds, preserve that timeout. And now it's third down. I think that's it for timeouts. They haven't updated it on the scoreboard, but I want to say those were the 2 timeouts. Yeah. Forest Lake's got Park at Cottage Grove coming up. They're going to host. They got Woodbury. They're at White Bear Lake, which is beating Coon Rapids right now. And, of course, they host Eastridge. So they got home games coming up here in the next 4 weeks.
Well, I think, if they come away with a victory in this one, I would put them as favorites in the next 3, right? And they could be looking at 5-0 going into that Eastridge game. And I saw Eastridge scrimmage this year. That is a big physical team.
So you'd like to be 5-0 heading into something like that as Forest Lake looks to set themselves up here early. And road wins like this do that, right? When it comes to seeding, going on the road, winning a game like this, it's a big deal. Minute 23, third down, 17.
And they're in quads for the first time today.
Yeah, there you go. There's something to look at, right? Johnson, and it's all window dressing as he will keep it, and he is bottled up. So now they cannot stop this clock, I don't believe, so they will run this down.
Yep, so I believe Forest Lake will take it all the way down. They'll take a timeout. Oh, this is not good for...
Oh, Anoka, is that a 10-second runoff?
Nope.
No.
So the Anoka, what will happen here is they will get a fresh 40 on the play clock. So... you'll get a fresh 40 to reset it, I believe.
Yeah, late injury. Looks like a Champlin does win. They do close out Andover tonight, 28-24 on the road, and they will reset that play clock to 40. You're right, Zach, as it looks like a cramp there from that lineman.
So that's unfortunate for Anoka, right? Because about 10, 12 seconds had already run off when they stopped that. And now they get a fresh clock. So Forest Lake will take it all the way down. Right? There'll be 27 seconds, 28 seconds when they take timeout. And then Forest Lake can do a lot of things.
Right. All right, so he came off the field. And there he comes running. Yep, he's got to step off the field for a play, and he will. All right, clock. I have not started either clock yet, so they're going to wait, get everybody set, and now they wind it. Here we go. They got to start the regular clock. The clock has not started. They got to stop that. Yep. I know the Forest Lake coaches are fuming here because they want to get this clock to run right. And now we wait. Yeah, they did not start both clocks simultaneously. I think you just go back to 107 and 40 seconds. I think that's easy, and you just start over. Right? I think that's what you do.
That's what I would expect them to do here.
Yep. My guess is they will. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the referees rule here. So still a minute. Yep, minute 7 and 40. They have wound it back. So now they will start these simultaneously. And yeah, if you're Forest Lake, you are in no hurry to run this play. You will probably run this all the way down. Coach Bisco getting his explanation, and he's got it, and seemingly satisfied, and now everything is running together. Oh, the play clock they think is moving faster. Now they've got it simulated, I think. Clock is moving, sort of. I don't know what's happening. Play clock is moving, but it's like going in 5-second increments.
The one on the other end zone is running
right.
properly.
The one on the other end is right. Okay, got it. Thank you.
I still think they missed out on about 10 seconds there.
You do feel like it's off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Either way, though, they're going to run this all the way down, and they do. They'll take a timeout. 32 seconds to go as they stop the clock. 4th down, 17. And my guess is you punt it? So my guess is you punt?
I don't think they're punting from here. I think they're going to
run something.
They'll run something. They might just chuck it deep into the end zone or throw it out through the back of the end zone, whatever.
Sure.
Right?
Take the 5-6 seconds to develop the play, and no timeouts for Anoka. They have not updated that on the scoreboard. Rough couple of minutes for the scoreboard guys. I'll tell you what. They're going to have a tough one. Tough film session for the guys at home here tonight. All right, here we go. Final few seconds in this one. 28-20 Forest Lake.
They're lining up for field goal here.
They are lining up for it. This would surprise me if they kicked this. Kicker does have a big leg. We've seen that.
They were close to having the extra point blocked.
And they missed this extra point. That would have put them up 9. Snap is everything if they snap it. And there's no reason to not to because the clock is stopped. They will snap it. They will kick it. It's on its way. It looks good. And it is good. A big field goal from Anyuanga. That was from way downtown. And it's 31-20, and that will ice the game for all intents and purposes.
Well, it's a gutsy call, and he came through.
That was from 45, and that would have been good from 55. That thing was just booted by that young kicker. That was impressive. Student section heading out for Anoka. Big, nice crowd for Forest Lake tonight. Student section showed up. And a big win on the road for the Rangers tonight. This Tornado team fought hard, this young team, but few too many mistakes. Few too many. That unfortunately did them in. I thought Sieben played well tonight. Thought Rush played well. Caden Ban had a heck of a game. But this Forest Lake Ranger team tonight with Connor Johnson, without Mac Jerkovich, we talked about this at the beginning, who had 30-some carries last week, no carries tonight, and they still were able to execute offensively. Just a really good win for this Forest Lake Rangers team on the road. Good win. And they'll squibber down, taking on the fly. Yaikinen will bring this back. He's going to cross now, try to reverse field, get to the 30-yard line where he goes down with 13 seconds to go. So Forest Lake, no doubt, will get into a big shell defense here and just try not to concede a touchdown and maybe make this 1 to 2 more plays. Tornadoes are going to try to find a big play here, a big chunk. And again, this is a young team, so every play you make here, you're just trying to grow something. So here we go. Sieben lines up. And they'll roll it out. Sieben, 10 seconds to go. He'll keep the ball. Now he's rolling the other way. Makes a few plays. Still trying to throw one downfield. Goes deep. And that is intercepted by Forest Lake. And that will do it right at the horn. Ball game over. Forest Lake gets the win on the road, 31-20 over the Anoka Tornadoes in what was a very entertaining football game. Zach, I guess I'm going to ask you for your evaluation of the two teams. Give me your grade for kind of both teams tonight and kind of what you saw.
Well, I think in the end, the experience of Forest Lake won out, right? We talked at the start. Anoka had replaced a bunch of starters, and Forest Lake on the flip side felt like they had a lot of guys who were battle-tested. And in a tight game late, those guys came through.
Right, and Forest Lake looks like they're going to be a tough out here for a while because they can do some different things. They got some big guys. They're going to be tough to deal with in 6A.
Yeah, they're a physical football team, and physical football teams win football games. Their schedule sets up nicely now for them. We saw they got a bunch of games at home, right? 3 of their next 4. I think that they can run the football, which is nice. And they play good defense, right? They shut down Anoka, for a good chunk of time, right? If this Anoka team is held down to 20, I think you've done a pretty good job as a defensive coordinator.
And let's evaluate that Anoka team now. They're 0-2. There's things you like, though, right? I mean, there's things that if you're Coach Bo, you got to feel decent about as you go forward with this young team.
Well, they're definitely moving the ball, right? So we see they've got some skill guys there. Some penalties hurt them tonight. A couple of turnovers in tough times. But I think they've got a good shot going forward because, right, there's no dominant team here, I think, in this section, right? Now they're going to get into section play and have a good shot at winning some football games.
So a lot of fun here tonight. Good game by both teams. Forest Lake to 2-0, Anoka to 0-2. Lots of stuff coming up here for you on QCTV. We certainly hope you continue to watch. We want to thank you for all of your support. Good job by John tonight here on our light shoot, handling a lot of stuff for us here on site. I want to thank our crew back at the QCTV studios for doing all the work for us this evening to help bring you this game this evening on QCTV. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. My thanks to Zach for coming out and helping us out here tonight on QCTV. Appreciate him. So for Zach Nienaber, for John upstairs, for everybody at QCTV, this is Tim Anderson saying keep your head up, and we will see you next time.